and they are one of the four, and they're the only one that's out of the party now. So, yeah, that's a rough one, man. So, Jamie, I understand, brother, what you're going through. I didn't expect that kind of emotion, though, early this morning. I'll tell you what, we got a lot of stuff going on, though, man. Canes Pro Day today. Tomorrow, spring football starts up. So Jay Luke is now going to hand back off to the football team after a great college basketball season for the Canes, even though they go down to a really good Purdue team yesterday, a 2 seed. You said you watched a lot of college basketball.
A lot. You asked me about any game, and I might be able to tell you, but they all started to blend together after a game-winning shot. There were like 3 or 4 game-winning shots in the yesterday. I can't even keep it, but I did list 5 things that I thought during to talk about. I don't know if we want to get them today. Big Ten, 6 teams in the finals, in the Sweet 16.
That's a good story. I did see that.
The Boozer Brothers commercials. I've had enough of them. I love the Boozer Brothers.
Hey,
don't take this wrong.
How about making some extra money?
They're like all over. They're on more commercials than number 2's Charles Barkley and Samuel L. Jackson.
I tell you what,
it's cool too, Dave. You said the brothers because they're technically not twins. You know the story behind the Boozer Brothers, right?
What do you mean they're not twins?
So it's kind of a complicated story. So
I know
their older brother had sickle cell anemia, so they were looking for a way to cure him, and they found out.
I saw the piece on TV, but why are they not twins?
They took 2 of the mother's eggs, and they fertilized 2 of the eggs, but they're not from the same egg, so they're not twins. They're basically brothers that were born at the same time.
Oh, they're Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
I don't know, but Duke's just glad to have them. I can tell you that, and we'll see how they go. But yeah, they made it through the Sweet 16. Duke's in there. 3 of the number 1 seeds did end up moving on. Well, I'll tell you what, the Heat played their ass off and lose on a tip-in with
Talk about twins, left. The Thompson twins from Fort Lauderdale.
How about that story?
Yeah, now there's a story that I know, the Sunset and Old co-players of the year in high school out of Pinecrest, and now the one brother beats the Heat, and
just a great effort. I saw it about 19 times. I didn't see it live, but I saw the highlights, saw the tip in, and I was like, of course, I was coming home from a late night at tennis, which, by the way, the Miami Open second week. And it got a little shocker last night. Carlos Alcaraz upset by Sebastian Corda.
That's not good for the
Corda
tournament.
family, very well known. The daughter, the sister's been number 1 or number 2 player on the LPGA. She's a great golfer. And her brother is top 25 or 32. He was ranked, but he took down Alcaraz last night, who didn't look like his old self, but I don't know, I always hate when somebody says that, if somebody looks flat or didn't look like it, but well, I'll tell you what, Sebastian Corda was, he jumped on it and almost won in straight sets, but wins the 3rd set. And so it's a little shocker going in to the second week of the tournament. And that makes me, I got to go tonight. I got to go see the center match here. I'm gonna give up a little sleep tonight to watch the match a bit. Just been great out there in the weather.
Who's at center court tonight that you got to go
center.
Watch? Oh, center court. I got it. I got.
Yeah,
your
no, he's.
I see what you did.
No. He's number 2 player in the world, and he and Alcaraz have just dominated this thing now for the last couple of years, and he's not letting up. So. Yeah, he's going to have a chance to do something that's really hard to do, win on the West Coast and then come out here and win on the East Coast before they take off for the clay.
I'm watching
season.
Coco Gauff's playing this afternoon now. There's a local story that I followed almost from the start when she was winning Wimbledon. She made her big run through Wimbledon, and I went up to the family bar and watched it. That was a scene.
Yeah, I have not been around the family. I know she's a Delray girl up there. Matter of fact, there's a lot of golf world and a lot of tennis world in Palm Beach. There really is. It's funny. I watched Coco play the other day on the stadium court, and she's coming back from injury. She did not look great. She did enough to win, but she's got some work to get back to where she has been in the past. but some of those top girls on the women, Sabalenka, Pagula, there's some good ones right now on the other side there. So it'll be a fun week. So we got a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of stuff going on. Tonight is one of those games, David, if you're a season ticket holder, and the Heat, by the way, wake up this morning 38-33 in the 9th spot.
Right where they –
we were just talking about they were knocking on the door at 5. There's only a few games difference between 5 and 9 right now. But you lose 4 straight games late in the year, like they won 7 straight to get themselves into great shape, and now had that heartbreaker.
That was a brutal loss. Bam Adebayo, 32 points.
Maybe the second best game of his career.
21 rebounds, I believe. And
32 and 21.
And he really should have made the play of the game. Houston has the inbounds pass. They give it to Durant, and Bam played textbook defense on one of the game's great closers and forced into a bad shot. And
it's a great call. Great call by you.
And there goes the rebound. Tyler Hero doesn't block out. Kel'el Ware, neither of them blocked out. Houston had 2 guys who were available for the rebound, no matter which way it came off the rim. And the Thompson, one of the Thompson twins put it in. And
that was just effort, 100% effort. You know, you talk about great effort. Somebody going to the basket like that. But you're right. Bam couldn't have played. I mean, he took the worst shot. I mean, it
was such good defense. And
he's long, he's athletic, and Kevin Durant. I mean, that should have been the winner. We should have been talking.
Bam is taking the next step to greatness. And then, you know, the 83-point game, everybody made everybody sit up. Oh, wow, his offense is coming on. And you look at him offensively, he's a different player. But he has a night like that, and we should be talking about Bam and how great he was instead of that last play.
And I got to tell you, for everybody gets on, you know, Spo about Kel'el Ware, your 7-4, that's got to be your.
Why are they on Spo about? That's Kel'el Ware. He's got to. He has been around long enough.
There's got to be one thing you can do, whether you're you know, and that's hustle.
But that was Tyler Hero's man. You watch Thompson makes the inbound pass and immediately sprints to the goal, which is fundamental basketball in a last-second shot.
Yeah.
And Tyler Hero watches him go and doesn't block him out. And you watch as Thompson puts it in, Tyler Hero it's like, oh, that was my man.
Yeah.
But you're right. Kel'el Ware could have got the rebound too. So.
Well, anyway, that's a tough one. 4 straight losses, and Victor Wembanyama is in town tonight, and he's going to be a finalist for the MVP. He has turned into the face of the NBA. And they got a really good team right now. They are already second best record in the NBA right now out west. And what a story that team they put together. So the Heat trying to break this, and it doesn't get any easier. They got 2 in Cleveland coming up. So got to win these games.
But they want to change people's thoughts. They want to change who they are. This is, you know, this stretch after 7 straight wins. And now it just collapsed. This is what average teams do. They have a nice run, then they fall back.
And you've been on this, and Ira, although he didn't want to come out and say it because you got to be careful because all stuff. But, you know, they beat up on the weak teams, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Washington comes to town, and they beat them up. They pounded them. But now you're playing these teams, and you just had some really terrible second halves. And in that game the other night, you play your ass off, and it's just not enough. Hey, we got a lot of other stuff going on here this morning, and it really is a busy time going on. The Panthers 1-3 road trip. They're back home, and they're done. I mean, we can stop with the playoff stuff. They're 13 points back of the final playoff spot right now, and honestly, I'm guessing they'd rather have that first round pick right now.
There's the tension in the season. You know, I'm a complete anti-tanker going into a season. But if you're at the end of the season and you have a chance to get the 9th pick overall, you got to make sure you get or no pick at all. You're either the top 10 if you finish, you know, one of the worst 10 teams, or you lose the pick at all. And for a team that next year they're going to come back and be a Stanley Cup contender again,
right? They're bringing
assuming they
back.
Get healthy again.
Yeah.
To get an injection of youth, maybe not next year, but the year after. If he's ready to play. That's a, I'm sure Bill Zito's sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
Please lose.
You don't think
Please lose.
So how does that, because they've been about winning. Listen, nobody's won more than what they've done the last 3 years. I mean,
how do you turn it off? I don't know that you can, other than rest.
So
guys.
What do you tell guys? I mean, they're hey, you're a little banged up. Hey, Reinhardt, we're gonna rest you out.
It's true too.
Bennett, hey, good year.
All season, Paul Maurice has been saying, almost apologizing how much he's had to play the Reinhardts and Bennettts and go down the line of stars because they have so many injuries that those guys have piled up too many. So they can make a case they can rest them, and rest them. Do it, because you'd much rather have that 9th pick.
But this goes back to that same thing about
absolutely
every game. Your fans deserve to see your best guys out there trying to win games.
Well.
So now what?
For the past 3 years.
I love this. It goes back and forth.
Does. But there is a moment, right, at the end, if you say, okay, you could win a meaningless game or you could get the 9th pick overall. And we have delivered two Stanley Cup and a Stanley Cup final the past 3 years. I think the fans would say, okay, we understand. They've delivered enough.
I would agree. They understand. It's kind of hard to second guess Bill Zito and anything he does.
But I don't know how you tell the players. You can't.
They don't want to hear it.
No, well, they're going to go out and play.
Well, first of all, Reinhardt would like to get, I'm guessing 30 goals would be an important thing for him. I'm guessing a lot of those guys like to get some more numbers for the year.
Or maybe not. They played in the Olympics, which was emotionally, look at Tkachuk's and Reinhardt's and Bennett's.
Leave it at Tkachuk, because Tkachuk's the only one. Tkachuk is the only one that's got the winner right now, because he's got back-to-back Stanley Cups and a gold medal. And the guys from Canada that he plays with came up a little short. And I'm guessing they're not going around showing everybody silver medal.
No, but I guess what I'm saying is they played some high-level, high-emotion games recently, a month ago. And so – yeah, maybe they need a little break here. What do you think?
Listen to you, boy. You better be consistent when you
I am
on
consistent.
Other teams.
I am consistent. My consistency is this: you don't go into a season tanking. You don't develop a philosophy of tanking.
Into a season. Okay.
Yeah, but if at some point the season turns and you have so many injuries, like the Heat, when Dwayne Wade got hurt and they traded Shaq because he wanted out of town. And they're midway through the season, and Riley said, we got nothing to do but tank to get, and they got the second pick, and it was Michael Beasley, so it didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
But
not their best work.
The point being, you don't have a philosophy of tanking as a organization, but once in a while it's to your benefit.
David, I'm not second guessing anything the Panthers do at this point, but they are quietly losing a lot of games and a rough road trip. So. All over the Seth Jones. This is a Chicago pick, right? I think it is for Seth Jones, and getting him back 100% and everything else with everybody next year. But by the way, they did a good job of marketing. We're bringing this thing back full speed next year. So I love it. Not everybody would do it. I think some teams would try to blow it up, but they're going, no, give us Barkov back.
Oh, they get healthy.
Give us all those guys.
They get rested. Really First of all, it's going to be tough this year anyways. The 4th year playing to the last game of the year. Those guys were spent. I went in there December, and I think it was Verhaeghe said we played a lot of hockey.
Yeah,
they're not making. They played a lot of hockey, and so if they weren't going to go all the way this year, it's almost better for them to get not make the playoffs. I hate to say it, and get a long rest.
But they have made it clear to their fan base, don't go away.
Hey, we're right here.
Because the guys are all coming back. And by the way, the Big Bob, what do you think about bringing him back? There's the
question. Well,
I don't know.
I think they'll bring him back. The question is at what price and what role? Do you bring him back as 1A?
Well, he's late 30s now, man.
Yeah.
You got to make a decision what he's got left in the tank for goalies. And
I'll leave that to them. That's out of my.
No. Listen, Bill Zito gets hall pass on things right now. Like, all right, Bill, you and Paul Maurice sitting there in that meeting together talking, got a pretty good idea. But there is sometimes you get a little attachment to guys a little bit and think about what they were and in the past.
They don't get that attached to look at guys they have done. Huberdeau was a fan favorite, and they let him go, and they have let guys go for salary reasons who've helped them get cups.
Boy, there's a name. There's a name in the past that no one talks
No
about.
one at all. Well,
How does he feel? He gets they get him, trade him out of town, and he goes to nowhere. And he's watching, going, "Are you kidding me, man? It could have been me. Could have been me." Hey, we're got to go to break here. Got a lot of stuff here on a Monday to get to, but right now it is Chevy Truck Month, and that means it's time to tell you about the rugged Colorado to the highly capable Silverado 1500 truck. Maybe the powerful Silverado HC is perfect for you, or the always ready to go Silverado EV. Hey, listen, whatever it is, it's Truck Month at your South Florida Chevy dealers. We want to let you know it is a great time to go get that new truck. Now, I like talking to the heavy hitters early in the morning, the guys that make a living out of that truck. I see you on the weekends. I see you Monday through Friday. I see you putting in long hours, man, and I see how important that strong, durable truck is to you. Well, listen, that's what the Silverado family is all about, man. Making sure you get a truck absolutely perfect for your lifestyle and your working style. Hey, whether it's that or still enjoying yourself on the weekends with your wave runners, maybe towing that beautiful boat of yours, going out doing a little fishing, doesn't matter. Visit your local South Florida Chevy dealers today. We got great deals going on, plenty of trucks, great deals. Test drive and fall in love at your South Florida Chevy dealer. To everybody just joining us out there, busy time in sports here in South Florida. But matter of fact, I didn't mention when we started, Dave Hyde is in with us today from the Sun Sentinel, is Marlins opener this Friday night against the Rockies.
I was just driving up 95, and there's a big billboard saying 4 days away.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, so
we'll be telling you, we got tickets this week, or are we out there all day, Dan Day, or are we giving away tickets, or we're not sure? Just go ahead and tell me. I could ask you off the air, just asking you on the air if we're good or no. We got tickets? You're not sure? There's a little pause there. You're not really sure if we have them or not.
I'm working on it right now. You know, I'm hitting up Lynn. I know Lynn's up right now.
He's not up. No, he's not up. He's not up for 3 hours. But
he's got his coffee going. I'm trying to find out.
All right. So if you don't, and we don't give away the free tickets, it'd been nice if I checked ahead of time. But anyway, don't worry. You can get them at marlins.com/opening day, and they got a lot of great stuff going on. First 25,000 fans through the gates will receive the first ever Marlins opening day bobblehead, featuring a guy that pulled his hamstring a couple of days ago and will be out 3 to 4 weeks, Kyle Stowers.
Joe, you want to give away some tickets to the Miami Heat Washington Wizards game on April 4th, maybe? Lynn just got back to me.
We like that.
Later on.
We'll do that. Yeah,
Lynn,
we'll do
Lynn
that
told
later
me go
on.
ahead and do it.
It's a good teaser, though. Good teaser. Yeah. Good teaser, and a team you just have to clobber because they truly don't want to win. They only care about trying to get that.
I think they're on a 15-game losing streak.
Yeah,
right now.
they're
very successfully tanking.
Yes.
Yeah. There's misery. Almost a third of the NBA is tanking. It's crazy. It's
just
awful for the.
Listen,
awful
man,
for the
go
league.
out of your way to lose. It's just for any sport. It stinks. It just stinks. And I get it. Like, well, you know, if you don't do this and you don't get one of those top four, they keep talking about 4 or 5 guys at college basketball that will be coming out that are, you know, game changers. And you're like,
how'd that work out for Philadelphia? They structured the tank for years, like 3, 4, 5 years.
And they were disaster.
Trust the process. Well, they picked the wrong guys. It was the wrong year for their
guys are always injured.
Yeah, it was awful. And so you not only wasted 5 years, but then they went nowhere. So I'm just not a fan. Now you can point the Houston Astros tanked and look, they won World Series.
Well, some teams have been able to do it, but
cheated it away at the World Series, but they did win it.
Yeah, they that was not a good look. All right, so we want to welcome the NFL to South Florida today. The Canes Pro Day, big one. 8, 9 guys could get drafted, so that'll be taking place in Coral Gables, and then of course tomorrow spring football starts up with a high expectations coming back from last year's team that was one drive away from a national championship at the end of the game. They got themselves a new quarterback, one of the best in the country from Duke, Darian Minsaw, and brought in some top-notch, came in strong in the transfer portal late. We're able to get a wide receiver and a top, maybe the number 1 pass rusher from Missouri. So they did a nice job. So I'm looking forward. We'll be out there tomorrow and really looking forward to spending time with Mario and the team and getting to see everything out there. And then, hey, who knows? We may be able to get basketball coach out there as well, because he just had one hell of a season. What a great start for the football and the basketball team. And what has happened this year. It's been a long time since we've had the 1-2 punch of what football came back and did this year. And then the turnaround by Jay Lucas was phenomenal.
Yeah, Jay Lucas became like a talk. You know, they go to the studio shows, and he became a talk story during the studio shows this weekend of turning it around in 1 year. You know, and what we've seen, you know, South Florida is a weird sports market in that there was no chatter about Miami basketball at the start of the year, and there was only talk by February because they were winning. You know, that's what teams on the fringe like Miami basketball have to do.
Yeah.
Win, and they won, and then they won an NCAA tournament game, and it was like nationally, they're like, oh, look at Miami. They rebuilt everything.
7-24 to 26-9. Just incredible. And by the way, they won a game, beat Missouri in the first game, the last game actually of the night, and then had the first game yesterday, had a lead at the half, 40-38, and then and had it down to 4 after falling behind. Had it down to 4 there at the end of the game, but couldn't bring it back and hit shots. But besides all that, Dave, I did want to ask you. We got some football news. I don't know how much. Nothing's going to surprise me at this point. Jordan Brooks and this Dallas Cowboys maybe trying to trade for him, and that the Dolphins, if they can get more picks in the top 3 rounds, or they might be interested in moving. I hope they don't. I'm going to say this. I said it with Waddle. I hope they don't, especially Jordan Brooks, his leadership. And I'm going to get into the leadership thing.
I don't want leadership.
I know.
Leadership.
I know.
It's one of those buzzwords
we
in the media love to talk about. Leadership. You know, I remember my definition of leadership comes from Jim Mandich. I was doing a talk show with him once, and this was back. I was talking leadership, and he goes, "Whoa, leadership. Let me tell you what leadership is. Leadership is I'm in the huddle, end of the game." The play's called to Larry Zonka. Everybody looks at Zonka, and he's nodding his head, yes, give me the ball. That's leadership right there. And I got you. That's it. You know, get good players.
That's the other thing. That's what we got these guys, Landry and Mostert, going back and forth, and the coach is too easy, and and one saying, no, you need leadership and stuff, and you're going to get me to this. No, what you need is good players. What you need is better players. And then they had Chubb, and I agree with Bradley. Chubb said the 2023 team they thought was special. I did too. So did everybody else. When that thing was put together and the final trades were made, and you're going, oh my God, now we got a cover corner. Oh my God, now we got a number 1 receiver to go with Waddle. Oh my God, we got this. Oh my God, we got that. Oh, we're filling in everything, man. And boy, our GM was just like, man, everybody says everybody likes me now, and the whole deal. And and he said something stupid again, and then the whole thing, and you're like, yeah, but it was on paper. And then the last 3 or 4 games of the year, starting with Baltimore, you go up there for the best record in the AFC, and they pound you. Lamar Jackson, perfect QB rating. Still remember it like yesterday. Crappy day up there. And they played a game like it was perfect weather. You come home, you lose to Buffalo.
See, there's the game I remember because
and a tight game.
And Buffalo. People talk about Miami's injury. Oh, we were season ruined by injuries.
They did.
Buffalo
they lost all their defensive ends.
At the end of the year. By the end of the year, but in the Buffalo game, Buffalo was missing its best defensive lineman, best linebacker, and best cornerback, and they won the game on the road. So I mean, every team can. It's sort of like Parcells' line. The excuse is always there if you want to take it.
No, I agree. Nobody wants to hear about injuries. Dave, I can tell.
By the time they played Kansas City in the playoffs, look, their defense was decimated. But against Buffalo, the winnable game, the excuse of injuries wasn't there at that point.
That was also the year you had that Tennessee game, right? Earlier.
Yeah, I guess that was that year.
That was a choke job of the year. That they wrap up home field for the first round. They don't go to Kansas City. They win that game, and the Bills don't. Their Bills game doesn't matter.
See, I thought in 2022 and 2023 they had the talent to win, and for what I don't know, it was Mike McDaniel in his first year wasn't ready or whatever, but you could make a case it was more Mike. Then the last couple of years, I think it was more roster management and philosophy with a lack of draft picks. But
listen,
I hope they don't trade Jordan Brooks, though.
I'm with you. Jordan Brooks gets those guys together when they're again, and guys are. Hey man, we got a lot of guys that are followers. Most guys aren't leaders; they're followers, and those guys are important. They are, and I hope they keep Jordan Brooks around because besides being a leader. Number one, you can't be a leader unless you're a really good player.
Yeah, there's the point, right? It's amazing. The best leaders are.
He led the league in tackles.
Yeah,
he really did. He had a great year with all those young guys in front of him, and Sealer, of course. But he had a great season. But this thing, when we break this down, I'm listening to all these former guys talking and taking little jabs at each other now about what happened and this and it's that and. And I get everybody's got a little different take, and
it's a little weird. Raheem Mostert's piling on Mike, though.
I shocked,
thought-
honestly.
because-
Landry all of a sudden's coming out, our former wide receiver, and he's talking about what he thinks it is. And I was getting ready to tell him, how much winning do your teams do?
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. They didn't win a game. They didn't win any playoff games there either. I was up there when he went to Pittsburgh. Same kind of weather.
But now he's in the media. He's like us. He gets to say his opinion.
You're right.
And
You're right.
and
I'm curious what all these guys say in their take. Like I 100% agree with Mostert. Coach was way too easy.
That it was a country club atmosphere, but it's weird Mostert saying that from the standpoint he benefited his career. Mike brought him here from San Francisco. Mike, what he lead? He led the. He was.
I don't know.
Over 1,000 yards.
Somebody said Mostert and Mike were together for 8 years. Is that true? Was he with them 4 or 5 years out in San Francisco? And then when he came here,
they were there for a while in San
Francisco.
Mostert
had one of the great years of all time. I think he's got the touchdown record for a season.
Yeah, and his point was, if I could stay healthy, I'd be in the Hall of Fame. Which, okay, I respect.
I didn't hear that.
I respect a player believing his talent, but he couldn't stay healthy, and Mike helped his career a lot. Mike believed in him. Mike saw the talent and said the same thing.
It is weird that Mostert, who Mike obviously cared a lot about, he brought him here and he kept him 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. He was here 3 years, right?
Yeah.
I think he was here 3. And he had the fumbles, and that changed some things. He had a couple of fumbles in the last one and started losing some playing time. And of course, the other part of his H-N was really friggin' good coming into his own. But I'm like everybody else. I like here with all the former Dolphin players that have been there, but they're saying things, and one guy now is all over the leadership. And I was like, I got an idea for everybody. Just get better players. Just get better players and get a team built to win late in the year in cold weather. And we just haven't been able to do it. And you're going to play in cold weather late in the year. I don't know what schedule's going to be, but I promise you, from end of November till January and the season's over, the Miami Dolphins are going to have to play in some cold weather against some good teams. You agree with that? Every year.
I think these guys from Green Bay, I think they'll respect the cold weather idea a little better.
Well, they did it to us.
That, right?
We did a Thanksgiving game against them a couple years ago. Last game of the night, Thursday night, calling the wife to have her save some turkey for me at home. Make sure the family doesn't take it all home. I didn't do that. It sounded good, though. But anyway, we got kicked around in that game.
Well, there was a weird game. Okay, what stands out from that game is Tyreek Hill on the sideline. They have 1st and goal at the 9. Tyreek Hill's on the sideline for 3 plays. And I remember showing them. I'm at TV now. I'm home for Thanksgiving, Joe, and I'm watching. They have here's Tyreek Hill. He's coming off no, he's going back to the sideline. He's not coming out on the field. So there were some just weird.
I remember about that game? We fumbled right off the bat in bad field position. Gave him a short, easy touchdown. We got to stop, punt, and they punt, and I think it was Washington, if I'm not mistaken, fumbled the ball in the wind.
Joe, someday you'll have good memories of games, right?
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so.
I gave a talk a while ago, and someone asked me, was the Dolphins going to win while I'm alive? And I said, eat your vegetables.
I get that. But is that the standard line?
When you talk at the old
guys
places.
Our age go, hey, man, we ever going to win while I'm alive here? Huh? Am I ever be able to take my kid to a game and we go, hey, we just saw the Dolphins win a playoff game. Grab a new hat or something there, man. Yeah, just I hope so. Hey, we got to go to break here, man. Happy Monday morning to everybody. Get you caught up on everything. Miami Open 2nd week. We've got that. The Heat at home against San Antonio, who quietly, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say quietly, has 2nd best record in the league right now. And so we got that. And then, of course, a lot of football news down at University of Miami with Pro Day, and spring football starts up tomorrow. And then the Marlins start their season first of 162 games on Friday night in their opener. We'll be telling you about that. But right now, I want to tell you about Chapman Partnership. I love talking about really good charities that do really good work. And boy, I'll tell you what, Chapman Partnership is a hard one to beat. And there's a lot of great charities out there. Don't get me wrong. I get calls about them every day, but I will tell you something. The work the Chapman Partnership has been doing for a long time for the homeless is unbelievable. So you hear homeless, I know what you think. Same thing I always think, right? Somebody comes up, bugs you on the side of the road at a stop sign or stoplight, wants money every day, same guy, same woman's out there, and you're thinking, just wish they'd leave me alone. Well, I got to tell you, they're doing so much more. Chapman Partnership has 2 great facilities, and they do so much more than just provide housing and a warm meal. They're changing lives daily in our community by going beyond shelter and providing caring support and wraparound services and programs at Chapman. They're focused on building pathways for success, and they do it so many different ways. First of all, we got a lot of doctors that donate their time, mental health doctors, dentists come in, and it's about rehabilitation. It really is. In 3 to 4 months, helping homeless individuals and families get back out on their feet, find a job, find a place to live. I mean, it is unbelievable. We got some great success stories. It's not 100%, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot of feel-good stories coming out of Chapman Partnership. But the problem is not going away. Matter of fact, it's getting worse. Chapman Partnership is taking in more people and doing their part. Join me here at WQM to show support to one of my favorite charities that really does make a difference in our community through workforce development, education, as just one of the many services and programs they do to make their mission possible. Any level of support is so impactful, any amount of money. If it's been a great year for you and you'd like to get involved, check out chapmanpartnership.org, and you can donate your time and your money. Hey, listen, they're always looking for people that want to help and make you feel good once you see the work they're doing at the 2 facilities in Dade County at Chapman Partnership. Let's help support families and individuals overcoming homelessness at Chapman here in 2026. Go online to chapmanpartnership.org. Thank you so much.
Text WQAM on the calendar.
Hey, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. All day, Dan Day, Jamie. Boy, the whiz kid back there, and then, of course, Dave Hyde with us from the Sun Sentinel. Nice article, Dave. I like the stuff, and well-deserved, man. And I think a lot of people become a big fan of the Miami Hurricanes basketball coach because he's really, really done a nice job, Jay Lucas.
Yeah, it's interesting talking to him about the things he did first coming in. No players,
I love that story.
No players, no coaches that he had coached with. And he did certainly like the profile where
you're going to be the leading scorer.
Yes.
You're going to be my shutdown defender. I love
like
that.
A shortcut.
Never heard of.
I
never heard that.
And he said, okay, I got to get size. He knew exactly what he wanted. And, of course, Miami, they have money now. So, but he had to still go out and recruit the right guys so they all fit. And he got seniors, a couple senior, Trey Donaldson, Renault. But you saw yesterday Sheldon Henderson. And I've been out there a few times.
Don't let him go.
He does not look like a freshman.
No,
physically.
That's a big body kid.
Yes. And the way he plays. And so there's this foundation of freshmen there too, Dante Allen.
By the way, you didn't tell me this Columbus team in Miami's loaded. I see they just won a national championship again. I didn't think without the Boozer brothers they were going to win a championship.
So
and they got a 5-star. They got a Big Mac on the team that committed to the University of Miami. So, I'll tell you what, that Columbus program, which for years it's always been great at baseball. Then the football, have a ton of guys coming out for the football program, but their basketball program is.
You think they got a little national attention between Francisco Mendoza and Mario and now
Boozer?
Keeping it going with the Boozer brothers?
Well, Boozer's going to be a top 3 or 4 pick, and he's one of those guys.
He's going to be one of. They have 3 guys who they say are going to be the top pick. So as it get closer to the draft, I'm sure it'll be one of them. But he's right there.
Dave, we got a great night, actually. I'm heading out to Miami Open tonight, see Center play and see that. And, of course, if you missed it last night, Carlos Alcaraz, the number 1 player in the world, lost to Sebastian Corda. Probably that Corda family. You ever done a story on the Corda family?
I haven't. In fact, I didn't even know you were talking about him earlier. It's pretty amazing.
Somebody told me last night. I didn't know that was his sister's one of the best players on the tour. Has been. That was number 1. I don't know if she still is. But and he was unbelievable last night. I don't know what's going on, Carlos Alcaraz. I don't know if he burned out. He got knocked out by Medvedev last week in Indian Wells, and now has lost early in this tournament, and now will go get himself ready to go for the clay court season. But, so Alcaraz goes down last night in the Miami Open.
So this is Sinner's tournament now, too.
Well, yeah, because Joker's out, and it's kind of hard to imagine. Now, listen, it is doable, and
upsets happen more.
Zverev's there, and he's really good, but Sinner is he could be jumping back to number 1 here real soon again. So that's
now Roger was your guy for years. Federer, and now who's your guy now? Who's your guy?
Well, listen, I like Alcaraz. It's just ridiculous things he can do. He didn't do a lot of them yesterday, but just from drop shot to the power, big for such a young guy, so good in closing out, just and athletic, just runs. These guys, you hit a shot and you're going, there's no way some guy's going to get to it. And these guys are just athletic and not only do they get to it, but they hit it back for winners, which is always incredible to watch. But it's a great scene out there, man. This Miami Open is really fun. They've done a good job, and Chris and his staff of Jill and Jordan and Kathleen and all the rest of them out there put together. I think they've got record numbers, and of course the weather's been great the last couple of days. I believe we got some good weather.
Yesterday was amazing. There's the reason why you live here, right?
That's the reason you're reminded why I'm here. Oh, that's it. That's a good reason. Hey, besides all that stuff, we do have a lot of other news. The Miami Heat have a big home game tonight. they're all big right now after you lose 4 straight, and find themselves at 38-33. I know I was just talking about them having a cup of coffee in the 6th spot, David, but now they fall back to the 9th spot, and there's only a couple of games between 5 to 9, but again, they got to win these games.
They're right where they don't want to be.
No.
You know, and if you, like you said, a week it seemed like ago, we were saying something's happening there. They're coming together. They got people healthy, and maybe not. Maybe.
Well, you win
that
7
was
straight.
The way
and now
they
you lose
lost,
4 in a straight.
the way they lost to Houston, though, that was one of those because Bam did everything right. Davion Mitchell has the big steal in the final seconds, a big shot hit, and then
You can't play defense. I'm so glad you brought that up this morning. Bam on KD. He ended up taking a shot that had no chance.
that should be the play everybody was talking about.
Right.
Look at Bam
Bam
had 32 points,
What he
but
does.
then what he does on defensively too, and he's grown up to a two-way star, and that would have been the conversation. Instead, you know, Tyler Hero doesn't stop the Thompson passes the ball in to Durant and then sprints to the basket.
Which everybody's going to do, man.
Crashes the basket.
They understand there's no time left. The ball bounces off the rim. You better get a quick tap because there's no time left, and they were able to do it. And
Khalil Ware could have got the rebound, but he's also trying to block out his guy, and then here comes Amon Thompson for the tip-in.
You're a big, tall guy, and I'm not giving Tyler Hero. I mean, everybody knows the knock on Tyler too, but man, at the end of that game, you got your guy, your big guy, playing his ass off on defense.
Go get the
Everybody's
rebound.
just go get it.
Yeah.
Whether you're blocking out, just go up and get the friggin' ball. And didn't happen. So anyway, it didn't get any easier tonight as San Antonio comes in with the second best record in the NBA. And then, of course, from there, they're going to go to Cleveland for a couple of games this week. And then they got a couple of.
But Wemby's the show tonight, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he does things that, you know, they talked about when he was drafted, and I'm like, come on, he can't. But he's showing.
First of all, he is naturally the longest guy I've ever seen. Second of all, when he jumps, he's up above that square as much. You see those shots they show, and he's way up there, and he goes up, and it's just, yeah. And he's got talent. He
shoots the three-pointer.
Shoots the three.
I keep expecting him to break in half at some points, though, and yet he's proven to be.
Well, that's
last year was a different issue with him, health-wise, yeah. But physically, he's held up thus far. But we'll see, right, over his career.
Yeah, I know everybody always says that. They say that about Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
he had that slender body coming out of Texas.
And
first year, it's great. He's really talented, but can he hold up in the physical NBA? Held up pretty well.
Still holding up.
Had the Achilles injury with Golden State, and outside of that, he is, and what is he, 37 years old, and he's still one of the best scorers in the game. So
everybody still wants him every year when he's available.
Yeah. Well,
in the Heat. Speaking of a podcast, did you see what I think it was Solano actually interviewed where Kevin Durant was given a wave runner ride on Biscayne Bay, and when he came down to the Heat, and everybody thought he was going to sign here, and then he ended up. Come on, if a wave runner ride on Biscayne Bay doesn't get you to sign, then we got nothing to offer, right?
Remember, he gave us that one year. He gave Pat Riley the token interview. He said because he respected Pat. So I'm really not coming, but I feel like I owe it to Pat to at least listen to him. I don't remember when that was, but they got a lot of noise with it. But anyway, hey, we got a lot of stuff here this morning. We got the 7 o'clock hour sneaking up, and of course, I'm way behind on format like I usually am here on the show. But I do want to take a second this morning before we hit this 7 o'clock hour. We got a lot of stuff to get to here this morning. Talk about Gary and Harvey. Yeah, I'm talking about Harvey Cohn and Gary Judah, partners of Cohn and Judah Injury Law Firm, personal injury attorneys in Plantation. I want to talk to everybody out there. I hope you never have to go through it. Slip and fall, automobile accident, not your fault, negligence everywhere. If you've been through it and you've decided to go with a law firm because you saw the commercials, you hear the commercials, man, they sound really good. And then you go and you think that person that does that TV commercial or radio commercial, they sounded really good. So that's who you want to represent you, right? When you're going through this painful time in your life, only to find out they do the handoff. And you're thinking the handoffs were only in football? Nah, the law firms do them too. And they hand you off to some attorney that's been with them for a year and a half, and they don't have great communication skills. You can't get an update. You're frustrated. You won't have that problem with Harvey Cohn and Gary Judah. Nope. The partners who will handle your case from start to finish, more than 30 years of experience, big enough to go to trial and get you multi-million-dollar results, small enough just to call you back. They believe in communication with their clients. Hey, you will love the work they do. Go to CohnandJudah.com, read the reviews. That's all I need to say. Read the reviews. Partners who you can always get a hold of. They'll do great work for you, even on the weekends. Go to CohnandJudah.com, 866-FAIR-FEE. And remember this, they don't pay other lawyers to do the work you hire them to do. If you're not happy where you are right now, you need to call Harvey Cohn and Gary Judah.
WQAM. Odyssey Sports Station. The home of champions. The back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. The three-time NBA champion Miami Heat. Home of the five-time national champion Miami Hurricanes. And Miami Hurricanes basketball.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia, home of our Pricito, the lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. Canes basketball team, they fell to Purdue 79-69. The team did finish 26-9 this season. The Heat, they lost to the Rockets 123-122 over the weekend. They face the Spurs tonight at 7. And rumors are the Cowboys are interested in trading for Dolphins linebacker Jordan Brooks. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM, WQAM.
And welcome back. Nice little teaser right there. All day, Dan Day. Jarvis Landry, Raheem Mostert, Bradley Chubb talking about recent teams for the Miami Dolphins and the leadership and everything else, the coaching, and what's been the problem, why the Dolphins, for those guys, been around, and how good the 2022/2023 team was. And it did. It looked great on paper. It did. Just did not win enough games. First of all, first thing the Dolphins have to do is win the division. And you can't, the wild card going on the road to usually the number 1 or number 2 seeds. Well, the number 1 seed's a bye, but the number 2 or number 3 seeds, it's just not a good formula. And it hasn't been. And it's usually, to be honest, in cold weather. Pittsburgh, Kansas City, you can go through Buffalo. Those are places we played playoff games. And, equally cold, all 3 places. Well, Kansas City was at a different level. Damn near died out there.
People
did die.
People died. Someone did have his foot amputated.
I think the number of people, it was so cold. The team doctor was saying that the amount of people, but yeah, 3 people did not respect enough for living there and died from getting caught while they were drinking in that cold stuff. So but listen, just back to the point, besides cold weather games in January, is you got to win your division. And I went back to all the teams, and last time the Dolphins were going to a lot of playoff games, they're winning their division right here and playing in the old Orange Bowl. And we never left. And we lost some of those games down the road. We won some, and then, we lost some AFC championship game, and I think we lost to Seattle one year, and we lost to New England, but we also had success other years and made it to the Super Bowl. But that's the key is to get games down here. But you still got to be able to win in that stuff.
That's going to be a little difficult for the next decade with Josh Allen in Buffalo and now Drake May in New England. I mean, there's a challenge. It's not just getting the roster up and running for the Dolphins, but those are two look right now from the view of March and 2026 that they're going to be hurdles for years to come.
No. Especially right now with dead salary cap money and
$188 million. That's what they're at right now. Trying to push 200. Trying to push that 200 barrier. No team has come close to that. And you talk about, if you ever wonder how badly run the Dolphins were with their contracts and player decisions and giving money to the wrong people, there it is, right? There's the evidence.
Well, that's why situation of your general manager who's in charge of getting this flipped around, I think the first thing he said is, I got to clean up the mess. I got to make some difficult decisions that some of the fans probably aren't going to like. And second of all, I got to get draft picks, and we got to get back to the old-fashioned way that never gets outdated, and that's drafting well and getting high draft picks. And they've set themselves up now with a lot of 7 in the top 94 picks.
You could say the Dolphins are right back where they were entering, the 2019-2020. Now, the great thing what they've done is they've accelerated the tank year to the point the Dolphins had to tank to get to their draft picks, whereas John Eric Sullivan came in. He's got a nice draft class. He set it up to have a nice draft class right away. So you don't have to go through an awful year to get the rookies on the field.
Dave, this draft class for him, his first ever as the lead guy, not a part of it like he was in Green Bay, but he's a final say guy now. It's a big one for him, man.
Well, this is going to set up, does he
team.
make it or not? Let's face it, this offseason, investing in Willis, and now you have 7 picks in the top 94, and you look what happened. What went wrong for Chris Greer? Didn't get the quarterback. He traded a second-round pick for Josh Rosen, which was a flyer, and so take a chance. They took a chance, and just awful. They didn't do their homework though. But really the first draft, the first, when they had multiple. They set up the draft, 3 number 1 picks, and none of them worked out to the level they hoped. Certainly not Tua or Igbenogany. And Austin Jackson was drafted as a left tackle. Right. Now he's a right tackle, and an average player when he's healthy. But so just look at it right now that John Eric Sullivan, it's almost like he'll make or break it with this first offseason.
Yeah. And then the other one is I'm dying to see year 2 how that rookie class from last year, are any guys going to be frontline really good players out of that group?
I mean, Pro Bowl type players. Nobody showed it as a rookie.
Well, I don't even need to say Pro Bowl.
Like average starters, which
good, solid starters. Good, solid starters. Like, hey, I can win with these guys.
Yeah, I think you didn't see much that from the rookie year, but Kenneth Grant at the end of the year seemed to come on. So we'll see where he's at in year 2. But
they played a lot. The whole group
played a lot.
They got
opportunity.
Even hell, your 7th round quarterback ended up starting 3 games. So everybody got some playing time. Every draft pick.
It did not look like a special class though. It just looked like, let's hope we got something.
Right. So anyway, we'll see what year 2 looks like for that. But yeah, it's then the other thing that's popped up, this Jordan Brooks to Dallas trade that might be taken. I'd like to keep some guys. I don't know. Look at I guess what are they going to give us? Can we get a 3rd round pick for Jordan Brooks? Talking about
Dallas has 2 number 1 picks.
Well, they're not giving us.
I think you have to be blown away, right? To a 3rd round pick. I'm not doing that.
Well, some have said, "Hey, do you move up? Do you switch 1st round picks? They take our 30, and we take their 20, and then on top of it, they throw in a 3rd round pick for someone like that." I don't know what the value of Jordan Brooks is, but he led the league in tackles last year. And everything else. Listen, man, everybody raved about this guy. From the time he got on the field to his attitude when things were really bad, this guy was the guy leading the charge. He was that guy when the coaches are upstairs in meetings. That's the guy down telling guys, "Hey, man, let's get ready for that."
He's also
game.
the guy right now saying, "I need a new deal." He's on the last year's contract, and rightfully so. I mean, if I'm him, I'm saying that off-season is a time for business, and that's what I'm sure he's saying. And he's looking, the Cowboys want me, winning team as opposed to rebuilding
anybody that
team.
takes you is going to give you a new contract. That's almost automatic. So Brewer, who, by the way, how good has he turned out to be? Hell, I had guys I trusted tell me he was too small and he can't play in a certain system. And all he did was go out and grade out as one of the top 2 or 3 centers in football. He's going to want to get
Brewer
paid.
has value. Intrinsic value as you build in a team. Look at the Raiders. They went out and they're going to bring in the rookie quarterback. So they went out and made sure they got they spent the rookie a record price on a center, Linderbaum out of Baltimore.
He might have been the best free agent in the whole thing, and they got a deal done with him right away.
So they need the Dolphins need Brewer to help out Willis, and Jordan Brooks is. I could see what he's 29. I could see why they might trade him, but at some point, where's the breaking point too?
I don't think there is one.
No, there's not one.
I keep thinking that too. And yeah, you got a left tackle. You're not going to get rid of him. He's young guy.
He's young on a rookie contract.
And you got a center. I agree. No matter what, that's such an important position to help a guy that's been basically a backup quarterback when he plays in this league. So I think he's got a really important role on this team. But and Achane, there are a lot of people still don't believe Achane's going to be here. I do. I think he'll end up being there, but he's going to want to get paid too, David. He's not.
I'd pay him. You got the structure of a deal from James Cook in Buffalo. What, $48 million with 30 guaranteed? You could. He's the guy I would pay.
But I agree, you're going to be working off that contract.
Yeah. If I'm the agent,
Buffalo contract,
that's a starting point, and you're a year further down the line. But
yeah.
Jordan Brooks, I can see why they would trade him. I'm just at the point they got enough draft picks. They got enough to work with, right? They got enough.
You're not getting ready to owe them all.
No, I'm not.
Look, too many draft picks.
No, but at what cost? At some point, I want to keep some of my
I agree.
talent. I guess that's where I'm at.
You don't want one guy looking at the other guy going, I don't know what to do. Why are you looking at me? I don't know. I've never been out here.
How many times as a rookie did you look like, I'm not really sure what, did someone help you out?
Yeah. I think those guys are important. I think a handful of those guys are very important to this team. And again, I'm not saying I don't need some guy's not a very good player being the leader of the team. Nobody. And by the way, nobody wants to hear from that guy. Like, really? Nobody wanted to hear from me going, hey, guys, let's pick it up. All right. Hey, I'll tell you what, though. If you do need to pick me up, I want to tell you about Dr. Barry at Recovery Unplugged. Man, I got to tell you, I want to see you just get going again. If you've been off the road and struggling in your personal life and things not going great and the marriage is over or your job, and listen, you get in a funk. It happens to us, man. It just happens. Sometimes we get in a funk, start drinking too much. Maybe it's drugs, whatever it is. If your mental health needs a comeback season, Recovery Unplugged Behavioral Health is really here to help with a beautiful mental health residential program right here in Fort Lauderdale. They've helped over 20,000 people nationwide with expert care, music-based healing, and innovative treatments like ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. Make this so you put yourself first. Call 954-737-4508. Visit recoveryunplugged.com. New year, new you. Recovery Unplugged. Heal out loud.
WQA.
Well, it's a great time, man. If you like sports, we got a lot of things going on and more on deck right now. Marlins opener against the Rockies Friday night. Kyle Stowers bobblehead. Fireworks after. They listen, man. That's one thing they're trying to get people juiced up. Won a lot at that opener Friday night, and so making it a little more special.
Marlins were surprised last year. You know, how well they played, and now the question is, can they build on that? You know, and I'm kind of curious because a lot of times when you surprise record-wise one year with a lot of young players, there's the fear of falling back a little.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And Sandy Alcantara's
still here.
Still here. I thought for sure he would be traded last year. But
I did too.
But
he pitched better at the end of the year.
Yeah,
it took him a while to really
yes.
get his mojo back there with all the great stuff that he's had in his career. So they're really counting on the Canadians and the Italian team players. That is funny, man. Marcy and the rest of those guys, now they got this Owen Casey that they got in the trade for Edward Cabrera. So he's going to be, and he played really well for the Canadian team. He's still a young guy, but the top prospect.
And always the conversation. I think they're 30th in payroll. So I mean that's always going to be a conversation around the Marlins, right?
It is. So this thing in sports, man, you can't have one team spending whatever the Marlins are spending right now, and then you've got the Mets unlimited amount of money. Although
Dodgers.
He's cut back, and the Dodgers are at a different level. And they just load up. They take everybody's best players. They want to go out there. Now we're finding a lot of the great Japanese players want to play there. That team's loaded. They're loaded. If they're healthy, it's hard to imagine they're not going to be knocking on the door of another World Series with that group. That lineup is ridiculous, right? Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie. That's a pretty good group.
Yeah, one of those top 5, 6, 7 payroll teams is going to be there every year and ready to win, and it's the Dodgers right now. And yeah, excuse me, yeah, the Marlins are 30th, last and 30th in payroll, and so you can't compete
without a TV contract here locally.
It's like 14 teams don't have.
Is there really?
I think it's 14 now, either are or about to. They're projected to go onto the MLB network, basically, is what it is because the local regional sports networks are going out of style. I don't understand that business enough, and I haven't read enough. But look, all I know is I can still get it on my cable provider, so that's all I care about.
All right, well, me too. That's it. I like sit there and watch them while I'm sitting at my desk at night watching baseball games. And so I have that. We got week 2 of the Miami Open. And if you're going out to see Carlos Alcaraz play in the second week, no. Sebastian Corda beats him in 3 sets yesterday. It was like watching, and Carlos comes back to win the second set. And I go, well, he's got him now. And boy, Sebastian Corda did not go away, but there's still a lot of great players. Center. Number 2 player in the world is playing tonight, and Sabalenka and Pegula and a lot of the great players on the women's side are all still in the tournament. Listen, man, if you get a chance to weather the next few days, I don't know what your schedule is, but it is unbelievable out there. Everything, the food's great, the atmosphere, what they have, whether you're going during the day to watch. On the outside courts where a lot of great tennis has been played, by the way, on the outside. It's just not on the stadium court. But it's great. And Chris and Jill and Jordan and Kathleen and the whole staff out there have a handful of them that put these things together and make them better and better, easier to get in and out of, to better food. It's just everything.
Have you, I'm sure you tried a friend of mine sent me the Golden Glitzy, the $100 hot dog.
I did not
topped by
see it,
caviar.
but everybody's talking about it. So
you're talking about tuna and mayonnaise and all that the other day. I'm sure this caviar topped hot dog is.
I can't do a $100 hot dog. I do like hot dogs like everybody else, But no, I didn't. I've been eating burgers out there.
That's mixing worlds, caviar and hot dogs, isn't it? I
Yeah,
guess that's the
I wonder how
attraction.
it's doing. Everybody's making a big deal about the $100 hot dog out there, and I don't know. They got great food across the board.
You had the burger, huh?
I did. I just went burger and fries the other night.
I don't know. I'm still thinking about last show where you're talking open up that tuna can and that
I know
layer of oil sitting.
By the way, I got unbelievable reactions that I said I like tuna, and it's still like occasionally we'll ask my wife. She goes, "Why don't you get some tuna at the deli?" And I go, "If you don't mind, just get the tuna in the can." So are you kidding me? You know how long it's been there? It's so bad for you. And I like to take it out. I take some of the stuff off the top and squeeze it out, and then I mix it in mayonnaise. I put some dill pickles in there and get it ready to go, David. That's put some cheese on there.
I went through that for a period of my life, Joe, but I kind of grew out of it. You know,
I had some lean years between marriages, and I had a lot of. I mean, if you want to know my diet during that lean time where I was living with 17 guys, and I had a half of a bedroom there. I had a lot of tuna and cheese sandwiches, those things I'm talking about.
Did you have Kraft macaroni and cheese? I would put hot dogs on top of that and mustard on top of that. That was my college.
That would go.
It
was like college round 2. Yeah, between.
Everybody wanted to relive their college days, and you got to. That's
I like to just say between relationships. I got a chance to really try a lot of cheap things that were really good. And the old egg, by the way, my good friend was just laughing. I was laughing. He sent me something, and he was talking about the egg. And I go, yeah, hard-boiled egg, man. Again, through the mayonnaise, smashed up, made into an egg sandwich.
What about deviled eggs? You know, no, I never made them, but my mom would make them. You know, I love deviled eggs.
I got my mother-in-law, outstanding, puts a little spice to it, but she makes extra deviled eggs. I'm a deviled egg guy. But I got to have sweet pickles with them and olives. That's the combination. Black olives.
On the deviled eggs?
Sweet pickles, little sweet pickles.
Yeah.
And the deviled eggs. That's the combination.
I'm not sure the olives.
Isn't that funny?
I like
whatever
the sweet,
you grow up
I like the pickles, yeah.
You know, it's funny. Whatever, like, can I remember my wife goes, "Ooh, where did this all come from?" I go, "That's what we had as kids, man." And that's what you have every holiday. And so you kind of get used to it. My youngest daughter loves hard-boiled eggs, too. I can eat hard-boiled eggs 3 of them a day. You like them?
I love them. I love hard-boiled.
And yeah, I put the salt they tell you not to put
the
on.
salt on it. Yeah, and a little pepper once you get the first.
David, I'm not putting pepper on my own.
Oh, yeah. Put
No, hell no,
on
I'm not putting that. Not a pepper
Try it,
guy.
Joe.
Not a pepper guy. No, that's not going to happen. I can't believe you sat around and watched all that college basketball. I like to know who's winning, and I cared about the Gators and the Canes.
You know what I watched that, and I found out later it went viral, was the Villanova coach, Kevin Willard, was interviewed, one of these innocuous, between quarter interviews that we see all the time, and they
mandatory
say nothing.
You do.
And he comes on and he says, "I'm going to fire my staff because the other team."
He said it twice.
Yeah, he said it twice because they were scoring off out of bounds plays.
Yeah,
I got to fire, and it was he was obviously joking,
but some people didn't take it that way.
That's exactly why. Coaches can't show any sense of humor in sports anymore.
Well, it was done. He was very dry the way he did it.
He was dry, but come on,
David, I knew right away. I was laughing, going, "That's completely different.
That's funny. I
got to fire these coaches." And then somebody's carrying on. The girl goes on ESPN, and she's like all upset, and the guy working with her says, "Come on, he was joking. Are you serious?"
And he has to come in evidently after the game and explain that he. I mean, that's why. In sport, guys just can't show their personalities enough in sports anymore because, too many people take it the wrong way.
Hey, these coaches now, I was talking to Jay Lucas about this a couple weeks ago. Anything you do with your player on the sideline where you get on them a little bit
is mic'd it's there.
And it becomes a huge story. They got to listen to everybody. You can't talk to people like that. And I was like, well, what do you mean you can't talk to people like that?
Speaking of which, Tom Izzo of Michigan said, old school guy. He's 3 times a game, he's screaming at his players in his face. And then the great thing, the player starts to yell back. and Izzo breaks into a smile like, yeah, we got it going now, don't we? It's like that's just the relationship.
So we had a coach yesterday do it on the women's side with her best player, and they're in each other's faces. And so after the game, you knew this is coming. They go to the girl, the player, best player in the team. She goes, I love that she coaches me so hard and cares so much. I love when she does that. And so the fire was done.
That's great.
So
it is, right? It's almost, yeah.
But everybody's running that, and they're going, how's that coach act like that? And then if it's not for her best player saying, I love when she talks to me like that. She cares. And I told her, coach me hard. And my family said, coach my daughter hard.
Well, there it is. The coach has to know the player. And the best coaches, I did the book with Jimmy. He talked about this player I could coach hard. This player, I could not call him out in front of the team. This player, you'd have to put your arm around him. So the coach has to know the players.
I think John Offerdahl's got great stories. Christian guy comes in, really smart guy, a linebacker for the Dolphins, and he had never had the guy F-bomb him, talking to him. and if John's listening right now, he just said he walked in and he said, Coach, you can't talk to me that way. There's no reason to talk to me. And Shu's like, what do you mean?
What talk to you what way?
Yeah. Like, what's the big deal? Well, you're throwing F-bombs in there while you're talking to me, and you can just tell me if there's a problem. There's a better way to talk to me, but that doesn't work. It hurts. And so Jeff, Offerdahl goes through the whole thing and he walks out. I don't know if it changed how much, but
it reminds me of a story that I was told about Shula, which at the complex in Davie, the business offices were close enough that they heard the wrath of Shula when he's getting yelling, and one of them one of the high execs went to Ann, Shula's secretary, and asked if you could ask the coach to cut down on the language because we're hearing all the F-bombs. And so Ann said to coach, hey, there's a request. And Shula said, tell those blankety blanks to blankety blank. That was just part of who he was.
So through the years, and I don't mind saying this, it's okay for Coach Shula. And so we had this thing, and some guys are very protective and guard and protect shoes. I don't need to say names. And say that's an exaggeration how much he used the F-bomb when he talked to you. He used it so many different ways to get his point across, especially when he was fired up about usually something you did wrong or the team did wrong that he wasn't happy with. But there are a lot of guys, even old school guys, that, the joke was your family tough growing up? That's how it started. And you go, yeah, my dad's old school. Believe in spanking till a certain age and would get on you. And that's the way it was. And it was like that almost the whole way through high school before I left. And he goes, it's going to be a lot worse when Shoes talks to you. And I go, no. I've had my dad in my face. And they're going, no, you're missing the boat. It's going to be a lot worse. And then it finally happens the first time on a Monday Night Football game where it's really bad, really, really bad against Cowboys. And he jumped me, and he jumped me hard. And then he came and jumped me on the bench a second time. And my teammates, especially guys I'm close to, said, hey, man, this is the way it is. You got to let it go. I know. I go, let it go. I don't know if I can finish the friggin' game. I'm numb right now. And I go, no. You got to be able to let this go. So just everybody gets the same treatment. It's not just you. And, as you're around more, and as a rookie, and I'm watching Tim Foley, end of his career, he jumped one of the greatest guards of all time. Larry Little is playing for us and had to play a lot in his last year because of injury, and he's getting on him. And of course, those guys would go right back at him. Now they had
They had
Years
enough
and
credibility. Built
Yeah,
up.
they could go, wait a second, 17-0 head. I was a big part of that, and and they get back after him. And Larry jumped him. Larry went right.
I'd love to see Larry going back at Shula. That would have been a great give and take. Because
I think Zonk had his moments. Zonk
yeah.
could go back at him too. Those guys had a different.
Of course, the famous one, and you told us, is Lyle Blackwood. Shula going at him. Lyle Blackwood, a veteran, said, "Don't worry about it all." But then Shula came at him, and he broke down in tears on the right. And
So Lyle
some of the stories are incredible.
Lyle, as he retired, it still bothered him, like that somebody talked to him that way. He goes, "There's just no reason, a Christian guy to," and people are going, no, it's a motivation thing. It's not personal with shoes, because when he was done, he was done.
That is exactly right.
So it wasn't like he went around and going, F you. I mean, no, it was over. It was over. Matter of fact, he could rip you, and then after the game, you see your family and go, "Oh, Roses, let's say, hey, how you doing?" He'd be nice as can be to my dad.
The story they would tell in the office is he had a conference call with the head of officials, Art McNally, every Monday at 10 in the morning. I believe it was Monday or Tuesday. And everybody would stop in the office and listen, because Shula would be just thunderous F-bomb after F-bomb about this call and that call.
Yeah.
And at the end of a call, he'd go, "Okay, Art, good talking to you. I'll talk to you next week." To your point, that's just, he would let it go, and then it was done.
And listen, during the game, if you're on the sideline and the sideline judge that had to run them down the side and had to deal with them, he go, come here now. And the guy go, "No, I'm not coming over there." He goes, no, come here. He goes, no, I know what you're going to do. You're going to rip me. You're going to blast me. I don't want to do it. But I saw the commissioner take it too. Oh, commissioner, he jumped, like he thought he was a commissioner too. Like, he was that powerful and strong a personality in the league at that point. Hey, we got to go to break. We got to get South Florida Chevy dealers here, man, this morning. And it is Chevy Truck Month, man. It is a great time to get yourself a new Chevy Silverado. Boy, I'll tell you what, we make a truck absolutely perfect for you. Whether it's Colorado or a Silverado, you can't go wrong. I'm talking about legendary power, heavy duty or light duty, dependability, always comes standard. And boy, I'll tell you what, it's like we've custom made a truck for you at your Chevy family right now. I'm telling you, Chevy Truck Month means a lot of trucks, great deals. Take a test drive and make sure you get that truck that absolutely fits your lifestyle perfectly. Hard day of work, huh? Sometimes 7 days a week in that truck. You're working. You got a job to get done. You need a truck as durable as you are. We got it, man. We got a Silverado truck that'll work with you every day. Never a problem. How about that truck that still needs the entertainment part of your life on the weekend, to be able to pull the wave runners to the jet skis and all those boats, whether you're going out in the ocean doing a little fishing or anything else? We got a truck absolutely perfect for you, with all the power and capability you could ever want, and advanced camera tech added too. So listen, we got 14 dealerships out South Florida. We got great deals going on all month for you. It's Chevy Truck Month, man. Take advantage of it. Stop by your nearest Chevrolet dealership and fall in love with a great deal at your South Florida Chevy dealers. Hey, welcome back, and good morning to everybody. All day, Dan Day with us. Boy, I'll tell you what, Dave Hyde coming through big here with Friday, Monday with us here, Dave Hyde from the Sun
Oh,
Sentinel.
it's great to spend it with you, Joe.
Thank you. That's right. Nice of you to say. Very nice. And, of course, Jamie, who took that loss a little hard, came in here today.
He was right off the bat.
Well, he lives with his school. He's a Gator. And I said, man, the Canes. He goes, Canes. What are you talking about, Canes? Iowa beat Florida 73-72. Did you see that last shot? I go, yeah, man. They broke that press real quickly. Got a good look at it.
Seasons are decided in seconds at this point of the,
Isn't that amazing? Some of the finishes yesterday again. that is part of what makes that tournament so.
Usually there's more upsets though. I think it was 16-0 favorites on Friday. So really high point was the high of the upset.
That's right.
You know, and
then reality kicked in in the second game.
Although they played pretty good against was it Arkansas? Anybody? I can't. It was the SEC championship.
I think High Point did play Arkansas.
Yeah.
Well, they beat Arkansas, right? Didn't they beat them in the first round?
No, they beat. See, all the names are blending together at this point in the brackets.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, they beat Wisconsin.
Yeah, you're right. It was Wisconsin. Then they lost to Arkansas. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, Gators first 1 seed to go down. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, Arizona, Michigan, and Duke still alive. And anyway, hey, see what happens. Great tournament. It is fun to watch, and I know a lot of people have a lot of brackets on them, and I just kind of not doing the bracket thing anymore, but to enjoy it. And then the Jay Lucas story is fantastic. 7-24 last year, did not bring back a single coach or player from last year's team. He started over completely. Not one player said, I'm sticking around, Jay Lucas.
And the other part was he had never coached with any of the coaches he hired, which is
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's unusual. Usually there's somebody in your past of somewhere that you.
So you're saying there was nobody was on any coaching staff,
no,
on any benches that he was with.
No, and
wild.
So there were dinners, there were get-togethers, and then he had something called the profile, where he had them do like a psychological test, and the answers were read out in front of the team for teammates to get to know each other. Like, this guy, look, he grades out a strong personality, or this guy's a pleaser, someone who tries to bring people together. So everybody could get. He had to somehow accelerate, that team bonding experience, and obviously it worked, because look at the season they had.
Yeah. Oh, hey, listen. The biggest turnaround in the history of college basketball, 7-24 to 26-9, 19-win difference. That's amazing. It just, they had a couple real tight losses in there. Lost to Florida State after the national championship game that next night, and had a couple of, lost to Cal in the last second shot. And they go on and just have this unbelievable season. So good stuff, man, for the Canes basketball season. They get that win and they feel good. And you got Florida, they lose in that second game. And it's like, really? We're supposed to be in the Final Four. What's going on here?
Life's about expectations, right?
No question,
my goal to having a successful career, low expectations. That's don't dream too high. So what do you think, Joe?
So
Jamie had these high expectations for Florida, right? We're the number 1 seed, defending champs, and you lose in the second round, and you're look at he's
Jamie's
spitting
ripping,
bile.
Well, Jamie's looking at who didn't play well, and guys can't get rebound. He's just killing some guys that are really good players for not showing up
for a miracle shot on the last second. That decides.
I don't know. It's pretty good look in the corner.
Can't leave that guy wide open.
Hey, by the way,
I'm sitting there saying they're up by 2. I'm sitting there saying just no threes. Just don't let a 3. Just don't let a 3. And they leave this guy wide open for 3. And of course he knocks it down. They leave him 4 seconds, and Gators can't do anything in the 4 seconds.
Yeah, by the way, they did it real fast.
And we're the first 1 seed to get knocked out. It's, I'm pissed off this morning, Joe.
Yeah, no, you were. No
the big
question,
difference
man.
between college and pro basketball is you take that timeout with 4 seconds left. In the pros, you get the ball at half court.
Right.
In college, you always have to go. It's more fun in the pros, I think.
They broke that press real quickly. That press looked like the Gator. That was not their best effort.
But the press brought them back in the game in the second half. They were down like 10 points, and then they started pressing, and they came back. But yeah, the last play of the game, they went right through the press.
It did feel like Florida had gotten control. I thought they're coming back now. They're the 1 seed. They're gonna take over,
Find a way to win
and
this
they
game.
never got quite over the top.
And they had the crowd behind them too. Like, it really looked like Florida was going to win that game. And then they hit that shot, and it's like the air just got taken right out of their tires, and it was over.
And
You
it's
know, by
spring
the
football
way.
season all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's right. They're getting ready for spring football now too. Yeah, man, that's it is weird though. We go literally from college basketball, and it's by the way, you got pro day, and then
Speaking of which, there's a report out of one of the Jets writers that the Jets met with Carson Beck last night, and before the Pro workout. So, are the Jets in the market for? I'm sure, of course, they're in the market for a young quarterback. Are they in the market for Carson Beck?
I am really curious to see what the league, the NFL, thinks of Carson Beck. I have no idea. I mean, he's made some, we've seen it all from him. And I think a lot of his stuff's off the field. He just got such a bad rap in Georgia when he left. I think he got most of it seemed like cleaned up. But I hear guys going, oh, hey, would you bring your Ferrari today? And like, they don't do that to anybody else. There's a lot of guys making a lot of money in college football driving nice cars now. That's the normal. And his deal,
well, his deal was
he was with an influencer.
I was going to say between the influencer and things getting out about like the cars that don't get out with other players. But I think he was everything Miami could have hoped for this season, right to that final pass.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just sports. But
he got bad mouthed pretty good when he left Georgia.
He did, and I got to admit, I didn't follow his career in Georgia enough.
I didn't either, but I heard him say, he goes, I didn't handle a lot of things. I could have handled a lot of things better. So I mean, that's the stuff they're going to ask him. They're going to want to know, hey, what's your deal? And because he could throw it. I mean, he's got.
Well, he came in with a big injury, and he rehabbed, and he got himself back to where he had a really nice season. Now, what do the pros think about that? I don't know. I keep looking over your shoulder, Joe. The TV's on, and there's your commercial on.
Yeah,
and every time I think of Jimmy Johnson telling me the next time you see Joe, talk to him about that commercial.
Yeah, I know. Don't. It's, you know what? It runs every 2 seconds.
That's about the 5th time it's been on.
No. I know.
I hope you're getting.
No, I'm not.
You're not.
No,
for the number.
No. That's somebody else asked me. Am I getting paid by the commercial? You go, no. Be a rich man if we were doing that right now. There's no question about it. But yeah, Loctite, Impact, windows, doors, and roofing.
You don't have to help him out double dipping.
Don't double dip here right now too. Chev, my man out there, man, getting it done. No question about it. Hey, so anyway, we've got 8:00. Got a couple hours left here. Got a lot of stuff to get to. Carlos Alcaraz upset. My gosh, man. I went to sit down and watch that last night, and there's no way. No, it happened. So anyway, he's out. And Korda beats him last night. Good win for him. Man, it might be his best win of his career, honestly. Gets at it at home. He's a Palm Beach guy up there. And so anyway, we'll get in some other stuff here. We got some more football stuff to get to as well. But right now, I want to take a second to tell you about Baptist Health. Yep. Sooner or later, man, injury is going to happen to all of us, and it really stinks. Baptist Health, South Florida, Miami Orthopedic Sports Medicine Institute, I used to call it for years. They just have a great program together, man. It's one of the top 50 sports medicine programs in the country. People ask me where the pros going. I go, Inter Miami, the Heat, the Panthers, and the Miami Dolphins. I'll trust those great doctors. That's where they go. And they have put together a team of specialists for every part of the body. It's an all-star lineup of doctors. It really is, for the knee, shoulder, foot and ankle, hand, back, hip and knee replacement, Achilles. I mean, these guys are really, really good. And with 3 great facilities to go to in Dade and Broward, you got it. Doctors Hospital in Coral Gables, at Hard Rock Stadium, right next to the training facility. If you're out there, got a real nice facility with some great doctors. And 595 in Pine Island in Plantation. Hey, man, bottom line is this: the next time, and you know how it works, if you're competitive and active, sooner or later, you will get injured. Doesn't matter. And you want to see the best doctors. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho. One goal every day about getting you healthy, back out playing the sports you love the most.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring
Hawk, Crowder, and Solana. South Florida sports lives here.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Pricito, our lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. The Canes basketball team fell to Purdue 79-69. They did finish the season at 26-9. The Heat lost to the Rockets 123-122. They face the Spurs tonight at 7. Andrew Wiggins is probable. Messi scored in the 61st minute as Inter Miami defeated NYCFC 3-2 on Saturday. And the Miami Open tennis tournament continues today, although Carlos Alcaraz did lose to Sebastian Corda in the third round. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Hey, man, we want to welcome the National Football League to town today on their way down to Coral Gables. A lot of prospects, run, throw, catch, the whole deal down there, and interviews. And so it's a big day for the Canes. I don't know if they're going to be on NFL Network or not. Usually they are. Last year they had the Cam Ward show as the first pick and first quarterback taken.
And he put on a show that day.
He did on a show. Sidearmed it. He did them all.
He threw one long pass and turned to the Tennessee GM, and he said, "That's what you're going to get if you pick."
Yeah,
something like that.
And they did.
They did. They knew what they were.
I think
getting.
he's going to be really good. I think Cam Ward, he had nothing with him last year.
I'm with you. I think he's going to be good.
Nothing. And by the way, he was calling out vets by the end of the year for comments they made about loser comments, and he's just got some different makeup to him. And but anyway, hey, big day for the guys that might go in the first round and guys that are going to get drafted, trying to move up, and some of the guys on the defense. And it was just a great year. And then spring football starts tomorrow for the Miami Hurricanes, and of course the Miami Open second week. And boy, I tell you what, I looked out, and that was that's where you started with great weather at the Miami Open for the second week with what they have. And if you haven't been down there, you got to make your way. Whether it's a lunchtime pass or you want to sit down and watch it. And again, a lot of the players, you get now at second week, get into a lot of the top women are still in it. Sinner's still in it. Zverev is still alive and well. So still got some really good players. Carlos Alcaraz, what a huge loss, man. Sebastian Corda beat him yesterday in 3 sets last night. Surprised. Yeah, very, very surprised. He lost to Medvedev in the semis last week out in Indian Wells. I'm not saying that, he just looked out of it. He didn't look like himself at all for the guy that's so good, even in the first round but Sebastian Corda, man, give him credit. That's the best I've seen him play. I've seen him play now for a few years, and that was impressive.
But that's the problem or the beauty of individual sports is that every tournament's relying upon the personality of the top player, right?
Right.
People, well, I'm curious, when other sporting events, if an upset's happening, people will switch and they'll root for the underdog. But it doesn't really work that way in tennis. Everybody was still rooting for Alcaraz, right?
Yeah, everybody wants to see because he's just such a...
You don't want him to go out of the tournament.
No.
Basically the idea.
He is I was trying to think on both sides. He is by far the biggest draw when he plays the biggest crowds on stadium court. He played that Fonseca kid from Brazil who's really going to be, he's a rock star too, 19-year-old. But the problem is because of where he's ranked, he's got to play top players early in these matches. And so until he beats them, he's going to get knocked out early in these tournaments. But he had him, and Alcaraz played great against him. He was just outstanding a couple days ago, but the crowd was just what a crowd. Probably, outside of the finals, that thing is now listen, there's some great matchups that could happen here real quickly, and with Zverev and Sinner and some other top players, but it's great. And the ladies side, they still have a lot of really good players left. Both from the United States and Sabalenka, the number 1 player in the world as well. So we have all that, but man, see my son call me, I'm going out early, man. We want to go out early and see everything and the whole atmosphere. And it's gonna be crazy today. It's gonna be a fun day out there at Hard Rock. So if you get a chance,
I'm just waiting for Jessica Paluga to once again say
Pagula,
Pagula, excuse me, to say, yeah, this is my stadium, right? Which is,
she did a little bit of that, like how well she knows the stadium,
yeah.
but she did not take a shot at the Dolphins.
Well, it's early. It's early in the tournament still.
But she was talking. So her dad's been out there. I don't know if you've been watching Tennis Channel, but Terry Pagula, her father, who owns the Buffalo Bills, he's down here and he lives in Boca, got a home in Boca. So he's been down here watching her, and she's one 3 or 4 best players in the world too. And she has looked really good early in this tournament. So she's playing great. A lot of good stories, man. A lot of good. And I always say this, that the women, we're talking about the best women in the world, and they rip it. They're incredible to watch. It's really fun stuff to watch on either side. So we have all that going on. We've got a great Heat game tonight. They got San Antonio in town. I'm making it sound like it's a leftover story, but the Heat have lost 4 straight, and they're playing against a really, really good San Antonio team that just happens to have the second best record in the NBA next to OKC, who's going to be hard to beat.
And the most fascinating player in the league right now, right? I mean, SGA of Oklahoma City is the best player.
Wembanyama
1A, 1B, I guess, probably, depending on how
he is fun to watch.
He's fun to watch.
He is he's incredible. I was like you when I saw him come in the league, a little worried about that body. How would he hold up physically and get knocked around a little bit? But, man, he's got some junk to him, man. He doesn't back down from anybody. And I love what he did during the All-Star game. He said, hey, man, I'm going to play hard, so you guys play however you want. And he blocked somebody's shot right off, and they went, oh.
That changed the whole attitude of the All-Star game, didn't it? And maybe it changes it for the future, too. We'll see. But it had lost all juice the All-Star game had, and the fact he competed made everybody compete.
Well, we got an All-Star problem in general.
Yeah, in all sports, right.
Did you turn?
I did not. The flag football, is that where you're going?
Yeah,
I did.
Brady's quarterback on one team.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow's got one.
I saw some clips.
It's hard to watch flag football on TV. I think flag football is great for the game of football. I think it's great for, I always say, parents go, hey, I don't want my kids playing tackle football. I said, play flag football. Flag football is starting to take off. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. Instead of getting tackled, you pull a flag. But and the big guys, it's not obviously good for the 300-pound club. But, hey, it's
not for viewership, though. I'm with you on that.
Did you notice, though, that the non-pro guys that were on the flag football beat the NFL and former NFL guys and beat them up badly? Because the game's completely different. It's a completely different game. So the first of all, the physical stuff's taken out of it, and the strategy's different and everything else. But
I just saw Gronk, I think, pulled a hamstring.
Gronk wasn't ready to go.
Yeah.
He hadn't been doing those Bill Belichick workouts.
As anybody who's tried to run a sprint when you haven't done for a while,
the hamstring's
you know
coming.
What happens. Yeah.
You hope it's not the Achilles and the hamstring.
But I saw some clips of that flag, and I was surprised by, if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals or some of those other teams, Washington, Jalen Daniels, I'm not a fan of it, because I don't want my franchise. They were running and they weren't being hit, but there was still, he's having to make athletic moves, and
I got you.
I wouldn't want that for my franchise quarterback.
I am curious because, again, it's great that these guys are playing, because I think it's really going to help in the flag football stuff, especially for women now in high schools, is big, but it's getting bigger.
Are you okay with that in the Olympics and all that?
No,
me neither.
I don't like it.
No. Yeah.
First of all, the world doesn't play flag football.
Right. Completely agree. It's just
it's like they did something for the NFL. The commissioner went, "Thank you, Olympics."
They did something for TV because thinking TV would want it, but it doesn't work for me on TV.
No, I agree. It's just a completely different game. All right, we got to go to break. I do want to take a second this morning to talk to all my brothers out there, all the guys going through some hard times, man. You know what? You're a little down, a little off the road right now, getting a funk. and can't get out of it on your own. It happens, man. Things happen in your life, whether it's a breakup in a relationship to losing your job and now you're sitting there drinking a little bit or just feeling sorry for yourself. Whatever it is, you just can't get back on the road like you were before. Man, if you need some help right now and you need a reset, if your mental health needs a comeback season, Recovery Unplugged Behavioral Health, really here to help you with a beautiful mental health residential program right here in Fort Lauderdale. They've helped over 20,000 people nationwide with expert care, music-based healing, and innovative treatments like ketamine therapy for depression, anxiety, and trauma. Make this the year you put yourself first. Call 954-737-4508 or visit recoveryunplugged.com. It's a new year. It's a new you. Let Dr. Barry and his staff help you at Recovery Unplugged. Heal out loud.
Let's go. Time up. We can now prove that most of us
Beautiful day means it is time to get out and enjoy that Miami Open second week. And I got to back off on the tennis bug, man. Then I try to go out and play thinking I'm one of those guys, and it just doesn't look the same. But anyway, it's fun. And I want to thank all the people out there, Chris and his team, Jill, Jordan, Kathleen, and the whole group that helped put everything together. It's been redone. A lot of things been redone, easier to get in and out of. Great food, and again, the best tennis players, both men and women in the world. Second week of the tournament, and it'll be rolling all day long. If you have day passes or if you're going to a stadium, there's always tickets for you to grab if you're interested in doing any of that stuff. Then on top of all that, we got Heat back in action tonight at home against San Antonio. Boy, the Heat, they were just talking about the Heat. In that, sixth spot, they never did get the fifth spot. But right there, man, knocking on the door for a 5 spot. Then they lose 4 straight games, including just a heartbreaker in Houston the other night. Tip in under a second left, and that's ball game. So they lose that game. And now find themselves in a 9th spot with a 38-33 record after all that work to get to where they were. Now you're in a 9 spot.
That means 2 playing games. You need 2 wins in the play-in to get to the playoffs.
Right.
Which, their whole goal this year was not to be a play-in team. When you listen to them talk.
Well, this schedule, besides playing this really good San Antonio team tonight, then they're at Cleveland for a couple of games this week. Now they've got some games in there that definitely will have a chance, but hey, listen, they're not playing great. Bam is playing great. Nah, he needs some help. He defended. I'm so glad you brought that up. The job he did on Kevin Durant on that last shot of the game. I mean, it's as bad a shot as you're going to. Kevin Durant going one-on-one and could not shake Bam, who's lanky and tall like Kevin Durant is. But he took a terrible shot. And the guys crashed the boards, obviously, and get the tip in that game.
Yeah, that was – look, we should be talking about Bam, 32 points, 21 rebounds.
Unbelievable.
Then the defensive stop to force Durant.
And
everybody knows the ball's going to try to get to Durant on that play, right, in the final seconds. And he's made his career on those shots. And that Bam forced him just to a bad shot. But you know what? The Heat's defensive lapses. We talked last week of the Lakers 75 points and
75
last
in
week.
The last 2 games.
And then the game deciding play where really it was almost a miracle comeback for the Heat. They're down 123 to 120, and they foul Bam in the finals. Houston does because they don't want a 3-point taken. He hits both free throws. Then De'Vion Mitchell makes a steal. He get a basket to go up, but then Tyler Hero's got to be aware that his guy's going to pass the ball and crash the boards, and Khalil Ware could have got the rebound too.
You hear Spo go, it's a fundamental thing.
Yeah.
It's said by every coach, you got to block out, you got to find a body and get on it because you got to get that rebound to finish that game. And great effort by Houston, gets the tip in, and that's ball game from a guy from here in South Florida.
Thompson, yeah. Him and his brother, I think, drafted 4th and 5th. They were the Sun Sentinels co-player of the years in high school at Pinecrest. Neither went to college. They did the elite team, the sort of the minor league.
They didn't do the G League, or are you saying a different league?
No, it was elite team or elite leagues out of Atlanta.
No, it's in the G League. They're just a certain team.
It is in the G League. It's 18 to 20-year-olds in the G League then. Okay. But, it worked out for them.
I guess it did. Yeah, good for them. Well, this thing, I don't know how these guys are doing G League with the money you can get in college basketball now. College basketball is paying the top guys.
I think there's
I'm talking football money, Dave, now. I don't want you in college football. College basketball for the top guys, not taking a back seat to maybe a couple of quarterbacks, but that's it.
FAU last year had a guy was he 6'11" or 7 foot
The tall guy, yeah.
tall guy.
Yeah.
And he went to Tech. Texas came in and got him for over $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the.
Right now, you're in a situation. If you're at FIU and FAU, they're not going to pay that kind of money. I'm talking football mostly. You can't, and basketball. You're not going to get big dollars staying there. But you go there to get your career going, especially if you like the coach and like the system, and you put up good numbers there, Dave. And then the big payday comes from one of the Power 4 or 5 conferences, and you get the offers. You know, you catch 70, 80 footballs, somebody's going to pick you up, and they're going to pay you a lot of money. But college basketball is paying a lot of money right now for these top guys.
Yeah, I think, look at football. Emory Williams, the backup quarterback at Miami for a couple years, transferred to East Carolina. And with the idea, I'm sure, I go there and play and I get my game up to speed, and then I'll have a pick of major college to go to. That's the idea that a lot of quarterbacks are doing right now in college football.
Here's a problem you have, and it's going on at the U. So you go there out of high school, and he gets some good players out of high school. They're getting recruited by a lot of schools. Every one of these guys they're bringing in. And then you go out and you pay a lot of money to get a guy from another school that's proven that the NFL already likes, they can play, like the guy they have right now, and they bring him in for a lot of money. And the problem with it, if it's not really a problem if you have money, Darian Mensah is going to be the quarterback, but for those other guys, they don't get any experience. This is the second straight year the backup quarterback has not gotten any playing time. Cam Ward's backup, 0 playing time till the bowl game, when you find out Cam Ward's only going to play a half of that game, and it was done. And then last year, Carson Beck played basically the whole season.
The one that is the question. The quarterback.
So you come back and you have no experience.
Mario has. I mean, that you look at the team last year; they got a lot of freshmen playing across the roster, but not at quarterback. You're right, but there were 6, 8 freshmen who really, as the season went on, helped that season.
Yeah.
But look, if you're a major program, do you try to grow your own quarterback, or do you just every year say, okay, we're going to go out and pick the best one out there?
I go to Washington State. I go to somebody that's got a really good proven passing game, put up some numbers, and there's a good chance you get picked up by somebody.
Or you steal them from Duke.
Or you take Duke's guy after Duke took one from Tulane.
That's the game right now.
But right? Look at Cam Ward's trip to get into
Cam Ward was a bargain, $1.5 million. Right? I mean,
won't see that anymore.
No, that ain't happening.
Hey, nothing's going up like top proven college quarterbacks. Nothing's going up more in price than those guys. What do you think the guy's making in Oklahoma? He decided to come back another year. What do you think the guy in Oregon, Moore, coming back for another year in Oregon? What do you think he's making?
I would think he's making top dollar to come back.
What do you think Manning's making in Texas for coming back for another year? They're saying he's making $6, $7, $8 million.
And Miami got, what was it, about $30 million, something around there, for going to the championship game, because they didn't have to share it with the way it was set up. They don't have to share it with the ACC, and I'm sure all that money is going right back into the program, because that's the way. And so they had this.
What did they say? They came on and said said they made $30 million, but they had to pay for expenses out.
Yeah, okay, but right. So they paid a few million in expenses. So.
Money well spent.
Money, your return on investment is pretty good there.
So anyway, we'll see if gonna be fun to go out there tomorrow and spring football day one and watch. Always like to watch the new quarterback, see what he looks like out there with his new teammates and the guys they've added from the transfer portal. I can't remember the last time Canes had 2,000-yard receivers in a seat on the same team either.
And one of them's preferred target. Right, the Duke
Malachi. Malachi Tony, and then Barkate is the other guy, Cooper Barkate, and I think he and Darian Mensah went through high school together too. So anyway, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch as that thing comes together with the spring football and everything else. So we got that. We got this basketball tournament. Canes out, Florida Gators out. How come it feels different? The Canes are out and we feel good, and the Gators are out. And I'm just joking.
He just trying to get
Jamie doesn't think it's very
upset.
funny. Jamie doesn't.
Throwing jabs at me at 8:30 in the morning.
Actually, I was hitting at 5:30. He came in all jacked up this morning, man. All fired up about everything. So anyway, hey, we got to go to break. We got more stuff to get to here on a Monday. A lot of stuff going on. And by the way, if that's not enough stuff, Marlins baseball and Major League Baseball getting ready to start up Friday. We'll have that more stuff on that and what the plan is for the Rockies and the Marlins. Friday, 7:10 start, 25,000 fans through the gates. The first 25,000 will receive a first ever Marlins opening day bobblehead featuring Kyle Stowers, who will not play because he pulled his hamstring the other day, presented by ADT. And then they'll have fireworks after the game too. So we got a lot of stuff going on there. Also, I want to tell you about what is happening at Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing. Are you ready to protect your home? You've been talking about, are you finally ready to take care of that old leaky roof? Replace your old roof now and pay later. Loctite Impact offers the highest quality roofing materials with lifetime warranty plus thousands of 5-star reviews. You can save big on their legendary state-of-the-art Impact windows and doors. Impact windows as low as $6 per window per month installed. Now, don't wait for the next storm. Hey, listen. Chev's the one to really come out and say this. We don't know where the hurricanes are going to hit. We don't know what kind of year it's going to be, hurricane season it's going to be. But we do know one thing. You can protect your home with the best products from Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing, covering all of South Florida. Go to LoctiteImpact.com. Again, LoctiteImpact.com or call 954-500-LOCK, covering all of South Florida. Loctite Impact Windows, Doors, and Roofing.
WQAM
Want to welcome the National Football League to South Florida today for Pro Day, University of Miami. Having all their guys working out down there. Matter of fact, some of the other schools will have their players also stop by and run and jump and do all the things that you do at Pro Day. A lot of interviews and spend time. And Canes could have 3 guys going in the first round, and then spring football starts tomorrow for the Miami Hurricanes as well. So we got that. We got some other stuff, though. Dave Hyde's with us from the Sun Sentinel this morning. So now the latest one, and by the way, so far on all these things, they've been pretty accurate with, except Devon Achane is still here. Jordan Brooks is saying the Dallas Cowboys could be, now this is the latest one, that Dallas Cowboys are interested in trading for Jordan Brooks, who's a tackling machine and coming off a great year where he led the National Football League in tackles.
What do you need to make that deal if you're the Dolphins? What? Because you kind of got blown away by, I mean, the Waddle deal, they put plenty on the table to the point you had to say, yes, okay, I'll take that deal. There's probably a point there for Jordan Brooks too, right?
So there is definitely, I hate it too because I really like him as a player. Who doesn't like him? I hope they keep him. I want to start with that. I've been very good on I hope they keep him lately, that some of those guys are going. But you just, I'm big on first 3 round guys. I've always been first 3, top 90 to 100 picks in the draft. But the extra 6s and 7s, they just, I don't know. You feel the same way? Don't like.
Well, you're not going to get a 6 or 7. That's not going to swing it for Jordan Brooks. Right?
No. So I wanted to start with that, yes. But if I got a 3rd round pick and they maybe swapped, Dallas has 2 first round picks. I believe there are 2 first round picks, and they wanted to give us one of their higher picks and move with us from 30. And took our 30th pick, and we took their 20th pick or something like that, where you're moving up slots. Maybe, but I'm not just giving this guy away. Not only is he's got really good leadership, and he's really good for the young guys. Some of these young guys are going to need somebody to kind of look at during a game. It's like, what are we doing? What's the adjustment we're making?
They're going to be looking to Jeff Hafley, I think, if they trade Jordan Brooks, because they're not going to be, well, Zach Sealer for the defensive lineman will be, assuming he's still there.
But how important was he to last year's team?
Well, for the 3 rookie defensive tackles, he was very important.
He was playing with young guys the whole year.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, every time I'd see him, he goes, they're going to get better. We're getting this figured out. I'm going to play better as they play better. And sure enough, second half of the year, Zach played really well, and so did a lot of those guys those 3 defensive tackles started playing better. You have to have some of those guys on the team, is my point.
Or do you? That's the question with the Jordan Brooks trade, right? Do you just completely tear it all the way down to the studs and start all over? And
I always feel like people may disagree, and this may. It's nice to have a veteran guy when you're going to go through a funk as a rookie. I don't care how good you are as a rookie, you're going to go through a down period. And when you do, I'm sorry, but they coach you and they can help you some, but guys that are living it out there with you, it is a little different. And when you have one of those guys that you can lean on and you go, hey, what you're going through, I went through. It's normal. You can't let it bother you. Do this and do that, and you'll notice a difference. So the guy can tell you, hey, I've been through it, and then he can correct you right there, like, hey, you don't need to do it this way. Do it this way. It'll make sense. We'll get the call to you earlier. All those things. I mean,
it makes sense. Okay.
I know you're not a big leadership guy. I know that.
No, I teams have leaders, but you know what? Usually your best players are your leaders. Okay, so get some best players.
Yeah, but you got to have some best players that have some experience.
Here's what I think. I think leadership is an over-discussed topic in the media. Okay, I think we talk about leaders just because it's something. Every question to players, oh, are you going to be a leader? It's like, come on. That happens organically inside a team.
I was hoping you were going to say Mike McDaniel overdosed us on leadership.
Well,
last year.
All the coaches.
No. Mike took it to a different level. I think we had like 20 guys were on the leadership council. And on leadership council, why don't you guys go out and play better? Like Tua's on there. Hey, Tua, instead of just telling us what the leadership council, why didn't your ass get down there and play better in the game? And then that will help us.
Well, that was the weird thing about the leadership of that team. Tua was correcting people when he was the number one problem.
Yeah.
I mean, the number one salary was the number one problem on that team, and that it can't work that way.
They won 4 games. They won 4 games in a row. And by far the biggest problem or area was the quarterback, which was him. He didn't play well during those games. And they were winning.
Which is why we're talking, does Jordan Brooks get traded? I mean, they never solved so many of their problems to the point now we got to get rid of, do we get rid of our good players too?
So we had our new general manager, John Eric Sullivan, come out and he'd say, hey, I like to keep the core of these guys. And there's got a lot of different parts to it. You have one of the best centers in football. Brewer ended up having a great year.
I think you absolutely have to keep him because you've invested in Malik Willis as your quarterback. You gotta
agree.
You gotta help him.
You got a middle linebacker that you got 2 of them. Dotson's there too, who also had a really good year. I hope they can keep both those guys because I think again they serve a purpose of not only being really good, but helping other guys.
But you would say, if I'm John Eric Sullivan, as you think about it, the question: do you need both of them, and at what cost? If Jordan Brooks turns 29 in October, when are we going to be good? He'll be over 30, right? And there's a dividing line. And how many years can it be good?
But if he helps the development of guys around him,
do you need him and Dotson to help the development? Of course, it would help. The question is, at what benefit? What's the trade package coming your way that would sway you?
Well, here's the other problem you have. All those guys we're talking about had really good years, leading the league in tackles. The other guy ranked as one of the 2 or 3 top centers in football. One a running back who's coming off 1,800 plus yards total offense, 24 years old. A lot of tread still left on the tire. 24 years old is young. Those guys all want new contracts. All of them. They understand they have value. They know other teams are interested, and they are looking. No, there's not a veteran league wants to play off his last year. They want new, fresh money. Minka Fitzpatrick went to Jets, got a new contract with the trade. We basically got rid of his contract. So I don't know how the team's going to handle on who's going to get, if there's a first guy needs to get a contract, it's our running back, Devon Achane.
For the value of the team and to keep him, absolutely. And Aaron Brooks, Aaron Brewer, excuse me.
Yeah.
And there's the issue with Jordan Brooks, though. He's going to be 29. Great season last year. What's his value? And do you want to pay that, or do you want to, as you start over, do you want to, get another draft pick there? I think what we're really doing is saying goodbye to Jordan Brooks. The more I think about it.
So is that 3rd round pick going to do it? We gonna get a 5th, 3rd round pick? Is that going to do it? Hey, and listen, man, we got a lot of dead money. It's well documented. You have everybody's got the number of dead money.
182. I said 188 earlier. I think it's 182.
But it's a record of money that we're playing with this year. It's very low. Everybody's on the cheap.
You've heard of Moneyball. This is no Moneyball.
Right. But we have a lot of draft picks. Cheapest way to do business. Hit on draft picks early.
And the best way to rebuild quickly is to hit on draft picks. Now, they tried the same thing in 2019, didn't hit on the draft picks, and lived with the problems for 6-7 years.
We got to hit. The draft has been neglected here. Even when we traded for all those really good players, we gave up a lot of draft picks. And so we had 2 small draft classes. And outside of Achan, they weren't very good.
They had no idea what they were doing in the front office. They didn't know, we want to build with the draft. No, we want to build with free agency. They were swinging back and forth. And it seems like they have a firm plan here, which is we're going to build with the draft the first year. We're going to build with the draft, and we'll have a lot of free agent money the second year. You know who did that pretty well? And they had their quarterback. Everybody says Malik Willis is going to have nobody. You know what? Drake May had nothing to around him.
He had nothing year one. He played on a really bad football team.
And then they had a lot of
won 17
free
games.
agent money, and then they built with the draft, and look what they did. So
went to Super
there's
Bowl.
the model of what the Dolphins are trying to do.
Yeah. No, I'm guessing if you're asking, it's a 2-year deal. This year, clean it up. Develop some young guys, have some draft pick guys, hopefully from 2 years ago and from last year, and here we go. And as you said, all that free agent money to get somewhat competitive.
Right now they're in third. I didn't look after the weekend after they redid everything, but they went into the weekend as the third team with the third most space for the 2027 offseason. Salary cap space.
Was it the Jets in there?
Jets were number 2. Arizona was number 1.
Arizona. Okay. All right, Dave. Well, listen, man, we've got the 9:00 hour coming up here. Got a busy time going on. A little bit of everything, man. Little bit of everything going on right now. You realize we're a month away from the draft. Speaking of the draft, it's a month away. April 23rd, first round of the NFL draft.
It's going to be a monster draft for this franchise, too.
Well,
every draft's big, but right now.
For your fan base to have all these picks in the first 2 days, not even Saturday, but Thursday and Friday. Thursday's the first round. You got 2 picks. Then you come back Friday and look at all the picks you have in the second and third round. It's busy time. It's 5 picks, second day, and counting. Could be another one sneaking in here on you. Atlantic Men's Clinic's not sneaking in on me, David. I tell you all the time, ED and Low T, long gone, brothers. Long gone for Joe Rose. Oh, yeah, I had a bad. Well, first of all, Low T in your 60s, that's a guaranteed problem. But ED with it, I was not ready for that one. And boy, did it hit me hard. Oh, God. I gotta tell you what, man, when things aren't working in the bedroom and your sex drive is gone and your wife's making excuses for you or wondering what happened, you're going, oh, God, man, this is depression at its best. You're going through it and you've noticed your energy level. Let's start with that. That's the most important thing. Your energy is shot and you find out your weekends, you just have no energy. You're working, find yourself tired all weekend. You're taking naps and everybody around you is going, and you got, how about the vacation you were going to take? And you're going, I don't know. I'm a little tired right now. Last thing I want to do is take a active vacation. Listen, man, Atlantic Men's Clinic can change all that for you. Knock out ED and Low T real quickly and do it the right way, the professional way. The PSA test, you meet with their professional staff. All you have to do is set up that first appointment. It's the most important one, and you are in for great results. I'll get into the number one question guys ask me all the time over the last 2 years about Atlantic Men's Clinic. I understand we all have a lot of pride. I'm proud guys. Hey, Joe, Low T, because we all talk about Low T. It's the ED part that bothers guys, and you don't have anybody to talk to about it. I get it, man. Well, I just want to let you know, man, everything's professional. Everything's private when you go in there. You meet with their professionals to get the PSA test. And then you get the results, and they put you on a program that is perfect for your numbers. And you're going to have great results, and they're going to happen fast. 7 locations in South Florida to serve you, including a brand new location in Hollywood. I go to Plantation. The stores are all stores. All the offices are fantastic. 877-455-7300. Set up that first appointment. If this is something that's been bothering you and you've noticed a difference, and you have people, oh, it's just normal, you're getting closer to retirement. No, forget that. 877-455-7300. Set up that first appointment. You're in for great results, man. Knock out ED, knock out Low T. Hello, Atlantic Men's Clinic.
Champions. The back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, the three-time NBA champion Miami Heat, home of the five-time national champion Miami Hurricanes, and Miami Hurricanes basketball.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia, home of the Price Tour. Lowest price. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. Canes basketball team fell to Purdue 79-69. They finished the season 26-9. The Heat lost to the Rockets 123-122. The Spurs are in town, though, tonight at 7 o'clock. Rumors are Cowboys are interested in trading for Dolphins linebacker Jordan Brooks. And the Miami Open continues today, but it will continue without Carlos Alcaraz, who lost to Sebastian Corda in the third round. I am Dan Day. Now back to the Joe Rose Show here on 104.3 FM WQAM.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, welcome back to the 9 o'clock hour with all kinds of stuff going on. We're just talking about college sports, and it is funny. Have you noticed we don't hear student athletes as much? Remember, they used to hit us with student athletes. Now, some of the ADs still do. Like, oh, yeah, it's very important to our student athletes. No. You're not in the student athlete business anymore.
When I would cover the
athlete.
NCAA tournament, and they'd have press conferences, and they had to introduce them as student athletes, representing University of Miami are the student athletes, and they couldn't say players. And you don't hear majors, you don't hear grade point averages, you don't hear.
By the way, you don't see guys flunking out of school. When's the last time you heard a great player flunk out of school? Now, guys have been kicked out of school for dumbass stuff they've done, especially in Georgia, where they race cars apparently through the campus all the time. But you look at it's like
academically ineligible is not a phrase you hear.
No, you just like I just wish, and I know they won't do it because it takes away. And by the way, we do have guys that do go to school and graduate in 3 years, and I know Mendoza. I think about that. He graduated Cal in 3 years, just to give you an idea how smart that kid is. But I there's a lot of guys who are going, hey man, I'm making a lot of money. I want to be here 3 or 4 years, some 5. I'm going to be here, and I'm going to make as much as I can.
You know, I once did
the whole thing has changed.
I once did a study of former All-Sun Sentinel players in high school football for a 5-year study, and talked to them, and a lot of them went to the colleges, no matter what college, big college, small college, with the idea they're going to make the NFL. After about a year or two, they realized they weren't going to make it the NFL, and they applied themselves to their studies. And the graduation rate was a lot higher, and the system worked a lot better than someone as cynical as me thought. And I'm just curious now, is that been abandoned completely, where college actually degrees it doesn't really matter because they're just chasing money, which look I get.
I think guys are going to school. I do. I think they're grade proof. I think those guys still go and stuff, but
look, when you're transferring 2 and 3 schools, though, how hard is it to look? Anybody who's transferred in college, credits don't match up, classes don't match up.
I'm sure that's a problem. That doesn't change just because you're a jock, right? You go from one school to the next and find out your kids.
Now, if you're making $5 million a year in college, that's one thing, but for most players aren't. So I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody in academics about that. That's probably something I should do.
What do you pay Malachi Tony in year 2?
That's a great question.
After the year he just had.
I think you're going out there tomorrow. Ask that.
I think Malachi Tony was the best freshman in the country.
He was probably one of the best receivers in the country. Him up there.
How about the plays he made, and forget the regular season. In all the big games, all the plays that he made, from returning kicks, almost broke one to set up a touchdown, to on a screen breaking away from everybody and scoring. I mean, he was.
Can he get better? That's sort of the question. He obviously, from a technical skill level, probably can get better, but can he, in a game, can he have more dramatic, bigger moments than he did last year?
I think he can learn, but I don't know, man. He just doesn't. He was 17 part of the year.
Yeah.
He's 18 years old.
Okay, what does he get if you're paying a quarterback? I don't know what we hear all sorts. $6 million.
I can tell you, top receivers are definitely making an extra zero in college football. Again, I'm sure he got attacked by talk about tampering. I'm sure he got a lot of calls. And oh, by the way, he returns punts and is really good at it. Really, really good at it. He's a tough guy, man. He's something else. So,
well, Jeremiah Smith would make the most, right? And he would be second right now in college football.
Somebody told me, I don't know if it's true. I shouldn't even throw out. I heard $4 million. Does that sound right for Jeremiah Smith, who's going to be he would have been the first receiver taken last year. He'd have been the first one this year. And he'll be the first one next year, all 3 years.
Well, if Ohio State's football budget is $40 million, he probably should get $4 million then, right?
Well, they must have had schools go after him. I know Miami would love to see him come back home. He's a hell of a player. And by the way, he is NFL physical big. He's a big dude. For anybody who didn't see him play at Chaminade Madonna, he was big there. He was big in high school. And he just left and went in there. Brian Hartline's got great stories about him, who's now the head coach at South Florida. But man, that was.
But the money is crazy right now, and I don't blame the players at all for what's going on. We were just talking during the break. The FAU freshman, 7-footer from Lithuania last year. Texas came in. He averaged 10 points. Now he was the conference player of the year, freshman of the year for FAU. Texas swooped in and over $1 million well over $1 million. They paid
our sources are saying almost $2 million.
Yeah,
just under.
Crazy. And you know what? He was worth the investment. He's second leading scorer on Texas this year. 15.7, and
you can't teach size, man.
And athleticism.
You can't coach size. That size. Yeah, man. And Texas got money. They don't hide from it. They got a lot of money.
And they're in the Sweet 16, so it worked out for them. They got return on investment.
Did they win both? Texas win both their games? Oh, man. Jeez.
They're the highest seed left, 11 seed.
Cinderella story,
wow.
Texas.
I don't know. That doesn't feel that way.
It doesn't work.
No.
When their athletic budget's over $300 million, no, I'm sorry, you're not a Cinderella story.
It's basketball players, football, a lot of money going to fill these out, and our guy Jay Lucas is going to lose a couple of his top guys, and I just have a gut feeling he's coming in with some more. He's got this thing rolling. I think guys going to want to play for him. I think it's going to be, as long as the money's there, which it will be.
I was going to say that's one thing. The biggest change at Miami is they've gone from a school, they don't have money, to, oh, yeah, they have as much money as needed.
Yes. Can I tell you something else surprised me? Jason Taylor's still in that staff.
Yes, that is shocking.
Everybody knows he's a great recruiter. Everybody, knows he's really good friends, a lot of coaches in the SEC, and he has stayed.
He had the chance initially to go to the NFL with some teams. Now, at least I haven't talked to him. That was what I heard. And I just told him before the national championship game, and I said just that to him, I'm surprised you're still here. And he goes, well, what, you don't think and I go, no, I'm just surprised. You don't see very often a player of his NFL stature, a Hall of Famer, be a defensive end coach in college or defensive lineman coach and apply himself all the hours.
Well, he loves coaching those guys. He loves to coach them hard. He's got a talented group of young guys.
Look at the two guys he helped develop, Messidor and Ruben Bain, to the level.
Right.
The rare coaching you're going to get. They're rare talents, and then you get rare coaching on top of it.
Then the day after, he jumps heads through the Everglades, goes over, works his way up to meet a guy, northern part of the state, and his name's Damon Wilson, top pass rusher in the transfer portal. Next day he signs.
Okay, we talked about what you pay Malachi Tony. What do you pay Jason Taylor?
No, he's not cheap.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what that's, but the
I always thought he would be. Now, I don't know if I think the pass rushers in the NFL, because I thought that's where he'd end up. Being a defensive line coach, a rush for especially a pass rusher is so important. You spend a lot of money on them to get good ones, that you want a guy that understands and stays on guys and can coach them hard. He coaches guys hard now. You've seen him up close. He coaches hard. Now he puts his arm around them, but those parents, you know, one thing at UM, parents can get up close and see how coaches treat their kids. There's no surprise. They're right there.
Yeah.
They're right there. I was watching the drill. Jason says, come watch this drill. I look over and the parents right next to me watching their kids like 10, 15 feet away.
And Bain and Messidor said they would just go up and sit in Jason's office in the afternoons and just, you know, that's where they'd pass their time. Talking about stuff other than football, watching the news and all that stuff.
Well, I think with Jason, you got to have a chip on your shoulder and you got to carry it around with you for your whole life.
Sort of like he did.
That's what he did, man.
Player. Yeah.
People say bad things about you. You use that and you let that be a weapon.
Everybody looks for motivation wherever you, for instance, Joe, you come up with a chip on your shoulder, right? Every morning at 6 a.m.
I got chip. Yeah. Bad chip. Terrible chip. Just terrible. Can't believe you noticed that, David. We've got more stuff to get to here this morning. We're just teasing you here, man. We got Heat back home tonight against San Antonio. That'll be a fun one, man, for everybody likes to go. And the LeBron, how about that? The other day,
I tell you what, look at
Luka,
the Heat.
Luka gets a 60-point game.
You're getting your money's worth with the Heat, watching them. Lakers game, fun. Houston game, that was in Houston. But the point being, it was dramatic. You're just not getting the finishes you want if you're a Heat fan.
Right. I'll tell you what, that Luka, that was a finishing touch. Every time Heat would try to make a run, he'd come back down. He hit a three all the way to 59 points before he hit that free throw at the end of the game. I mean, he was knocking down threes from downtown. And we'll see what happens tonight, man. One of the best shows in the game. The big guy for San Antonio, man, he can flat out play. All right, we got to go to break here. Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage, man. Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage, all about great service, man. I'm like, Michael, how do you do it, man, for 30-plus years here? And he goes, you got to get the lowest rates. You got to bust your hump to help people get that second mortgage. He's got so many great programs he wants people, and people are going through, you know, a lot of bad things right now. Credit card debt consolidation is big, man. The credit cards you ran up 19, 20% to pay them off, and next thing you know, you're going, oh my God, this is out of control. How about behind in property taxes, HOA dues, assessments, judgments? Happens to people who live in condos, man. They're going, what am I going to do? This is supposed to be a nice, easy retirement, and now I'm struggling. Well, reverse mortgages can help you. I can tell you that right now. If you're 62 or older, you and your spouse, and you have a lot of equity in your home, and you could really use that money and still have a place to live, the old reverse mortgage might be perfect for you. First-time home buyer programs with very little money down. Also, Michael Kotze getting you the lowest rates, gets you approved in half the time of the big banks. Go to Google reviews on the web, Choice Mortgage Reviews. Find out what people are saying about Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. He's always working. This man truly has no life. 7 days a week, call or text him, 561-441-2730. That's 561-441-2730. MLS 166254. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. He's an equal housing lender. Michael Kotze at Choice Mortgage. away tickets here. We don't have any home opener for the Marlin tickets, although you can still get your tickets there by going to marlins.com/opening day, Friday night, 7 o'clock, the Rockies. Well, a lot of giveaways. We'll tell you about that in a few minutes here. But Heat, Wizards, April 4th for a home game. We got a pair of tickets. Why don't we do it right now? Caller number, in honor of the beautiful three-point shot. Let's do caller number 3 for Heat Wizards, tickets for April 4th. It's right around, that's not too far away. And get that. So be caller number 3 right now for that. And you can win a pair of tickets to the Heat and the Wizards. And you're guaranteed to win. You're guaranteed to watch the Heat get a win in that game.
You're because the Wizards,
they're trying really hard to lose.
Yeah.
Could even see Bam break a record.
Bam goes for 90.
That would be great, wouldn't it? I would just love to see the outrage nationally.
It went a little too far.
It went overboard.
What I hear, it didn't go in the flow of the game. It was embarrassing, the fouling at the end of the game.
Well, it did get a little chaotic at the end. I agree with that.
Don't be mad at Bam. Be mad at the Wizards
completely
team.
Completely agree. And besides, when Kobe went for 82, if you look in the last 6 minutes, he scored 17 points and took every shot. And there was isolated plays for Kobe, no help defense. So a lot of these
shot at Kobe.
No, well,
they start.
It's not a shot. It's just telling. Look, a lot of these individual scoring things especially in the NBA, have come with a little drama in the little script at the end that helped them.
You know what's amazing about Kobe? I was a big Kobe fan, like everybody, and now even more. And some people are a little fraudulent about it, but that's fine. I understand somebody passes away, and that's the way it should be. And when Kobe went to private school and how he was not very popular when it first started this whole thing. Went to private school in Philly.
He had a legal issue in Colorado that caused.
But even going back, he spoke 7 languages or something. His dad played overseas.
Guy, yeah. Jelly Bean,
and he just never seemed to he wasn't really accepted coming out of high school.
And then him and Shaq had issues.
Then they he did have some. He had the other thing you're talking about. But
I remember after a game at the Heat, the Heat beat the Lakers, and 20 minutes after the game, he comes out and he works out on the court for an hour.
That's right. He did,
and it was just sweat fest and everything, and it was
made that team wait for him while he came back out and got a workout in. Yeah. No, listen, man, the stories about Kobe are legendary. And by the way, he did that drink. What's that health drink he did? We used to promote. End up sold it for a ton of money, and he owned a big piece of it. One of those energy drinks or stuff, or just. He's done great. He did great. Set that family up for 9 lives, man. He really did. So a lot of good things with talking about Kobe Bryant. We got a lot of stuff going on here. We got the Miami Open second week starting today. Breaking records over the weekend, man. Breaking record amount of people. It's just incredible. There's so much space for people, and everybody talks about the atmosphere out there and just the beautiful people and the great food and just all the great tennis. It's a real relaxing, fun event to go to, and they made a few changes to make it even better. But the food and everything else is just fantastic. So Mr. Ross and all the things with the with what they've done with this tournament. Hell, F1's right around the corner. I'm not a huge race fan. You a big race fan?
No, I'm not. And you know what? I can't.
We got NASCAR coming up. Their events coming in town too.
F1 has taken off
that documentary did unbelievable.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Things.
I just can't add anything to it. From a writing standpoint, I tried to. There was a driver, one of the 20 drivers from Lighthouse Point. He grew up in Lighthouse Point. He went over to England and honed his skills as a teenager. And for 4 months, I tried to get him before F1 was here. And sorry, he's too busy. So it's sort of like, what can I add to F1 that a world of media already has? So, but it's a great event, and I know friends are massive F1 fans.
Oh no, it's a big party.
Yeah,
it's a big party with a bunch of billionaires. A lot of people, a lot of money go to that event, or other people want to go watch those people and see them.
Well, you saw, maybe you saw on CNBC last week, Alan Sorkin of the morning show there, business show, asked Steve Ross, I hear that F1 is making more money for you than the Dolphins. Is that true? Now, Ross, Steve didn't really.
Is that true?
It can't be true. It just cannot be true. Not with the TV. There might be segments, like maybe Steve Ross answered, we actually get more tickets sold at that event than season tickets for Dolphins. So, but
it's got to be close to 200,000.
279,000, I think, was the number.
During the event? All of them?
During F1.
Yeah, it's a few days, yeah.
So during the 3 days event. Now, I didn't break down the math of average ticket sales and all that, but there's no way it could be more than a Dolphins season when you factor in TV money. I mean, so.
It's amazing. So obviously a lot of people, a lot of money, get suites and do it upright. Hell, they bring in concert acts and Hard Rock supplies.
They bring in yachts for the water, for the created lakes there.
Yeah, that's right. Amazing. The whole thing, man. It's quite a show. Yeah, so back to back on that. Hell, before you know it, we'll have World Cup out there too. Can you mention that? World Cup concerts, and
that stadium's become a international, between Miami Open, which went from Key Biscayne, F1, Tom Garfinkel brought in, and now the World Cup every time there's an international soccer, I should see. This summer it's the World Cup. A lot of huge events there. You just wish the Dolphins would be one of those huge events.
Well,
little shot. You see what I did there?
No. Everybody says the same thing. Like, look, it's great. They're doing a lot of these things, but you got to get.
And football. I forgot football.
That's good too.
National championship game this year.
You have to get your football thing turned around. There are people that will still say, listen, all this stuff's fantastic. Everything is great. Listen, nobody loves the Miami Open more than I do. I walk around. Hell, I just like walking around out there, grabbing something to eat and do a little walk and get my steps in. But the football thing was built for the Miami Dolphins.
I was just looking up.
Got to get that thing going.
This rebuilding for the Dolphins, which for the first time I understand what they're doing. I really get. Okay, now they got to hit on the draft picks, obviously, to make it work. But the Dolphins right now have 10 players whose salary cap number is over $2 million. That's like nothing. I looked up during the break. The Buffalo Bills and New England Patriots both have 26 players over $2 million. So the Dolphins, when you say they've really torn it down to the studs, almost, and two of those over 10 million are Kenneth Grant and Jonas Savaiinaia. I need to practice that.
That's right. No, Savaiinaia.
I can spell it. But so meaning two rookies, and they'll obviously have more rookies making over $2 million after this draft. But right now, 10 players over. It
is still the cheapest way and the right way.
Yes,
to build
absolutely.
a team.
But you got to hit, and you have to hit on them.
Yeah,
you need to.
Hey man, same thing was said about who when he was here, and all those picks he had in the first and second round. You got to hit on him, man. Okay, I see what you're doing. You got to hit on him. Don't get cute. Make sure you hit on him. Move up, move down, but don't be an ass clown. And make sure you get it right.
And John Erickson Sullivan did look in. We're about 70 days into his reign right now, and he's got a quarterback in Malik Willis that he's on the hook for, and now all these draft picks. So he said, I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to make the moves.
Nobody in the history of this franchise has been put in a worse situation than our general manager.
Maybe probably the history of the league as far as rebuilding, considering they're at $182 million of
we want to let
cap.
you know this is what you have, and we did a bunch of bad contracts, and we're upside down, and you got to clean it up, and you got to go out, and obviously while you clean it up, you don't get high paid free agents, and you got to do it through the draft. And boy, he has loaded himself. He believes in top 3 rounds. You can tell that. That's one thing for sure, because that's the one number that continues to pop up, right, is the number of the 7 picks in the top 94 in this draft. That's got to be close to a first for that. We had we had three first round and 2 second one year.
You had 6 in the top 70 in 2020, I believe.
It's pretty
it
good
was.
too.
Yeah.
That's even higher quality. But hey, man, there might be another 3rd round pick added to this. Something tells me there could be.
I think the more I think about it, it's just like,
or even maybe a number 2 if you move enough, slide a little bit one way or the other. And I don't care what he does. I just want, you just get the guys you want that have a chance to be special players, man. That's it.
Well, when you think about it, will Jordan Brooks, as good as he is, change the win-loss next year? Probably not.
I know, but
but look,
you're not buying into all the stuff about all the young guys come up to him and can ask him questions and give him on the field.
I think that helps. Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely. That helps. You need guys like that. Now you have 2 of them at middle linebacker.
Just certain things coaches can't do.
Right.
On the day of a game.
And if you went and you saw Zach
practice.
Sealer last year with the defense, which you'd watch him and he'd be
always with those guys.
He would be showing them.
You saw
things.
that when we were at practice, and he's got them over and he's showing them and using their arms and staying on them. And by the way, he hustles all over the place. So they're hustling all over the place. So it's good stuff. Hey, we got to go to break here real quickly. The other event we got coming up is this Friday night. Baseball is officially back Friday night under the lights. Join us March 27th and watch the Fighting Fish face the Rockies. It's a 7:10 start. The first 25,000 fans through the gates will receive first ever Marlins opening day bobblehead featuring Kyle Stowers, presented by ADT. You can cap off the night with a spectacular post-game fireworks show from the first pitch to the final firework. It's going to be a fun night for you and your family. Welcome to a new season of Marlins baseball. Get your tickets now at marlins.com/opening day. That's marlins.com/opening day. It all happens this Friday night.
If you leave, you know what you'll
with this all day, Dan Day. Been nice enough to fill in. Woody's on a little vacation with the kids. Got a little time. Are the kids all officially? Spring break's not out for everybody yet, is it? Coming up? I'm not sure what the. I know you're out of that game too, Dan.
Well, but my wife's a teacher. Hers isn't until next week.
Next week.
So I don't know
Would
where.
she get a week off?
Yeah.
And did she tell you, hey, we're going to go do something? You get that or no? Not really.
Well, she says I'm going to go do something. I'm
Screw you, Dave.
I'm not sure I'm always invited, Joe.
Yeah, no. I drive my wife nuts, man. Spend a weekend together. I just drive her nuts, man.
Talking?
Yeah, usually around my talking.
You're a constant talk show, right? I mean, that's
I talk. I see people. I talk.
I remember Kim at a Dolphin game. We were walking out of the hotel. Kim Bocamper and maybe Jimmy was with, and they said, "Oh, we're just going to keep going because Joe stopped and talked to some stranger, and he'll be there for a half hour." And I said, "That is a great talent. I don't know any that many people who can stop."
It drives those guys nuts.
But
I go, well, the guy's a fan of our team. It's just, yeah, you don't know him. So my wife drives her nuts too. Same thing. You don't have to stop and talk. Just say hello and keep walking.
I think it's a great talent. I don't have that talent to do that though.
It's apparently it's very frustrating to be with.
Obviously,
my all my guys in my life tell me, guys and woman in my life.
I say you keep going though, Joe. I think it's great.
Thank you, David. I appreciate that. That's nice of you. Thank you very much. Hey, by the way, we've been all over the place with this Dolphin stuff and the Jordan Brooks thing. I hope he stays, man. I don't know what the general manager's thinking right now. I think the only guys left really are Jordan Brooks, and I agree. It make no sense at all to get rid of Aaron Brewer. None.
Well, I think you need him for the quarterback. You need to add to the offensive line, not subtract it, right?
But I also know these guys that are having good years and saw all the nice things being said, they want to get paid. And there's a way to force yourself out if you're not happy.
And that's sort of the next big question of this new regime, right? How are they going to handle salaries? We don't know. We know how the old regime handled salaries.
Cave.
Anybody came in with a bad look on their face anymore, and let's give you several $1 million and make it put a smile on your face.
Add a year, add extra money, guaranteed money, add a little extra money to your base this year. That worked.
Even with HN, they have one more year on the rookie contract, and then you could franchise tag him if you want.
You could tag him. You could tie him up 2 years.
We don't know, how this new regime feels about things, so we'll see.
I think one thing we all agree on, he's going to want more money. He does not want to play.
He should want more money.
Yeah. What is it, $6 million this year? I think it's $6 million base this year.
Yeah, I have to look that up. I'm not sure. I didn't think it was that much, but it very well could.
Maybe
be.
It's a $6 million total. Salary for his contract.
But the point is, he could make more and longer. Like any running back.
Every guy wants guaranteed money. When you're out there running around, you want to know more guaranteed money's coming in next year as well. And so that's going to be part of this deal for sure. So we'll see what happens and the whole thing. But the other part of this is, all this talk with the former players, former Dolphin players, which I appreciate. They all make good points. It's not a shot at Jarvis Landry or Raheem Mostert or any of the other guys that said, hey, this is what I noticed when I was there. You're probably right, man. If that's what you noticed, we need better players. Now, Bradley Chubb was on two of the best teams we've had in 20-something years, especially the 2023 team. And we had some injuries at the end of the year, and we let one slip away, a key game slip away that should have won the East, which would have made a big, big difference if you could add a home game. But they didn't get it. And so they'll win the division. We got to be good enough to win the AFC East. So we don't have to go as a wild card on the road. The wild card on the road doesn't work. And it's not going to work 9 out of 10 times.
They got some work to do to be the best team in the East. When you look at the two teams sitting up above them, and
you got Josh Allen and the Bills, whatever the Bills are going to look like, but they got Josh Allen and the other team. They're a pretty good team across the board. They're pretty damn good, and they do have Drake May.
They probably, if they were being honest, I would think they'd say we weren't a Super Bowl team last year. We got there, everything broke our way, but we're going to be better next year. If you're the Patriots, I think you'd be saying that.
Well, I think Denver's got the best team right now in the AFC. And again, New England beat them, the whole circumstances of that last game and playing with your backup quarterback versus Patriot. But, hey, man, I'm not sitting here and say that Patriots aren't going to be good. They won 17 games this year. They won 3 games in the playoffs.
Like the Dolphins, their schedule looks from the view of March. Now, this changes a lot in the season.
They get the tougher schedule
now.
The
schedule looks like it's going to be a lot tougher.
The league is not nice to the teams that go deep in the playoffs and Super Bowl that win their division. They have to pay for that.
It's not nice to the Dolphins either. Right now, I think they have number 3 strength of schedule based on Vegas's future wins of teams.
They got a pitch of the schedule.
They got a tough schedule.
Yeah. Oh, that's – hey, man, we got San Francisco out west. Hell, that game may go somewhere else. There's still a chance the Dolphins play, don't you think?
Yeah.
They're going to get one of these games. There's a ton of games. Every time I hear there's a ton of games going somewhere out of this country, I go, Miami Dolphins are going to be in on one of them if they want us.
And you hear Goodell saying, I want to play an international game a week at some point. That's coming. So...
Well, I will tell you, Madrid's beautiful. That's all I tell you. Madrid was a beautiful trip. And they won. But nice place. Really nice place. Hey, we got a big night. We'll have all the stuff. We're going to be live tomorrow for the first day of spring football for the Miami Hurricanes and get a chance to see all the new faces up close. We'll be talking about the Heat and the San Antonio Spurs. We'll be giving you an update on the Miami Open as we jump into the second week there, and Carlos Alcaraz is out of the tournament. Damn, didn't see that one coming.
You still got Sinner to watch tonight, right?
I got Sinner tonight. Yeah, second best. Those two have been dominating. Those two have been dominating the men's play. Dave, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming in and spending time with us, man. Always great stuff. What do you got for the Sun Sentinel Day? What are you going with? What are you rolling with today?
I think I'm not going to write today. I wrote on yesterday, but I got to figure out what this week. We got the Marlins, like you said, a lot of stuff going on. Do I go to the Heat game tonight? Do I go to Miami Open? When do I hit the Marlins? So that's my questions right now.
There you go. Hey, thank you guys so much for being with us. That's going to do it. We'll see you again tomorrow morning from Coral Gables. Thank you.
WQAM broadcasting live from the Ed Moore Sawgrass Auto Mall studio.